Okay, here we go. One take. I'm about to read. Gameplay update 7.38 Wandering Waters. Run with the currents to get to your safe lane faster, forge your own destiny with craftable neutral items, and dive into a deluge of new changes and improvements. Oh, this is going to test my reading capabilities a little bit. Got my coffee, so let's lock in. A better, wetter world. Dota's map dividing waterway has always been a little more than a watery line in the sand, separating the warring factions of Radiant and Dire. But the river has finally broken its banks, flooding up to the high grounds and reshaping the field and flow of battle. Look at that. Oh, look. It actually lights up. I guess we should look at all of them real quick. All right, creeps up in the river jungle, I guess. The shrines right here. Look, it's Arc Warden. He's my main. But I shouldn't tell him myself. They're gonna snipe me. What are these? The mine shrines right here in the middle of the map. We got the upside of downstream. All these new waterways in the jungles aren't just an upgrade to the scenery. Running with the current will give you a speed boost towards your safe lane without slowing you down if you're running against the flow. Cool. So let me see. It goes this way, right? Yep. An evolutionary leap. Got the amphibious creeps. Should I read every one of these? Damn. Oh, yeah, these are both the same. So, rivers. Yep. Blood in the water. As with some shrines, you'll now need to stand inside a lotus pool to collect its lotus. Enemies in the area will stop the pool from activating, so make sure you're swimming alone. And we've got the mine shrines. Wisdom runes. Oh. Wisdom runes have now been relocated and replaced with shrines of wisdom. You can still snag experience for yourself and an ally, but now instead of plucking a rune off the ground, you'll need to stand in the shrine and earn the XP. The wrinkle? The shrine won't activate if there's an enemy hero with you. Oh, alright. You'll have to earn a little privacy to bag the boom. And Roshan. Roshan's two pits have been relocated to the river with a new layers near the two power runes. Roshan will spawn into the southern pit and in the start of the match, but when the daylight decides it's time to make a move, he'll walk the total long distance of I got lost. Total long distance between the two pits, tossing around any units he meets along the way. Cool. Oh, and the tormentors. Transient tormentors. Yep, tormentors no longer spawn near each team's base. Instead, a single tormentor will spawn at one of two locations in the corners of the map, depending on the time of day, which also means it'll always appear on on the opposite side as Roshan. Amongst a bunch of other adjustments, the Tormentor also got a new ability that will leave behind a helping AoE after it dies. Healing AoE, yeah. Okay, so the Tormentor heals you after you kill it. Mine the shrines. Okay, so this is all I just read up in the map, but I just read it up in the map. Boom, boom. Oh my gosh, I wonder if he tosses anybody in the demo, but cool, he's just walking the river. And people don't pay attention, and he just walks across the river at low HP. Transient Tormentor, alright. Map changes. Old, new. Boom. Nice and purple. New, old. New. Boom. Madstone, okay. Sip of coffee. Steer the currents of power. Introducing Madstone, a new resource that lets you craft neutral items unique to your playstyle and the circumstances of the match. Farming Madstone. Alright, boom, boom, boom. The first step to getting custom neutral items is fully clearing a neutral creep camp. This will now earn you Madstone. 2 for yourself and 1 for a random ally. That's awesome. Artifacts and enchantments. Step 2. Save up Madstone to craft personalized neutral items. Each neutral is now made up of 2 parts. An artifact that gives your item new abilities, and enchantments that gives it passive stats and attribute bonuses. So let me see. The neutral item, let's see, it has a pig pole, and I guess it upgrades as it goes by. And then you can decide whether it gives you gold per minute, attack speed, health. Oh my goodness, this is going to be wild. Okay. See who's crafting what. There are 5 tiers to an artifact there are 5 tiers of artifacts. Oh, I see what they did there now. And enchantments available to a specific available at specific windows throughout a match. Check out your team's crafting process and help clear out camps to spread the wealth. Neutrals at a glance. Browse every combination of artifacts and enchantments in the updated Neutrals tabs, while in-game, spectators can easily see every hero's crafting history. A full list of neutral item changes are available in the patch notes. Okay. Quality of life. Dive into an ocean of adjustments and improvements to gameplay mechanics. Alright, I'm going to stop here to double check this camera. Okay. Let's keep going. Roshan timer. Hover over the Roshan timer next to the minimap for an extra hint on whether everybody's favorite neutral creep boss is still pushing up Scryweed in the Underhollow, or might have already returned topside. Okay. Mark for sell. Set an item to immediately be sold when you're alive in your base or at a secret shop. Better yet, your courier already up to speed on the changes and will take any marked items back to the fountain when it delivers a payload. Cool, cool. Added item targeting effects. We've added a host of item visual effects, from Glimmer Cape to Lotus Orb and much more, to help better communicate which hero is the source of the item's effects. Cool. See list. Ewel's, Force Staff, Salvo, Hurricane Pike. Let's go. All attributes display. See at a glance which talent tree attributes you've skilled up so far. Okay. For Dota Plus. You used to have to search all over the map to see the various Dota Plus game timers. Thankfully, you can now just hold Alt to see which status of those timers at the top of your screen. You know, just in case you need to ping the time to your allies to remind them to do something important before your enemy does. Cool, so pay to win. Backpack grace period. Cool. A crucial item delivery in the midst of a team fight should be a moment of game triumph, a game-turning triumph, not a moment of watching your team die 1 second before your backpack cooldown resets. To that aspirational end, you can now drag newly acquired items out of your backpack without the 6-second cooldown period and put them to use immediately. Okay. Down to the nitty-gritty. Oh, let me read that. 7.38 patch notes. Sink in and soak up all of the changes and the updates below. General updates. Major mechanics. Universal heroes damage per attribute decreased from 0.7 to 0.45. As a result, many heroes have had their base damages and attributes gain changed. Skill points can now be spent on all attributes starting at level 2 instead of level 6. Reflected spells now benefit from all bonuses the original cast had, including the following: Caster's Facet upgrades, bonuses from talents, Aghanim Shard and Aghanim Scepter upgrades, upgrades used to depend on Aghanim's items and reflected units had, the reflecting unit had. Okay. Slow resistance now also increases minimum movement speed by the slow percentage. 20% slow resistance increases your minimum move speed from 100 to 120. Glyph of Fortification. Creep duration decreased from 4 to 3 seconds. Units no longer gave bonus movement speed during the night. Items that have entered a hero's backpack for the very first time now have a 3-second grace period where they can be swapped into the main inventory without any cooldowns. This can only happen once per item per hero. Okay. Excuse me. The top and bottom outer rim areas are now flooded by streams of traversable water. These streams have a current, starting near the T3 towers right before the medium camp location, down to the T1 towers from the Twin Gate location. Going downstream increases current and max move speed, while going upstream inflicts no penalty. Inflicts no penalty. Okay. Streams are separated by two zones. One with a strong current, which provides 150 movement speed, and one with a moderate current, which provides to 100 bonus move speed. The current is strong from stream beginnings near each base up to the waterfalls near the T2 towers. All other stream sections are considered to have moderate current. Bonus value depends on the face direction, ranging from 100% while going downstream to 0% at 90 degrees. At 0% at 90 degrees. Okay. Watchers, camps, and pathways in areas have been slightly adjusted to give way for the stream. Radiant and Dire main jungles now also have a stream with moderate current. Starting near the easy camp, close to the mid Tier 1 towers, they join the outer streams, crossing the safe lane near the T2 towers. Okay. Map objectives. Roshan. Roshan is back in the river with one pit located near each side lane. Top layer is slightly closer to Dire's jungle entrance, and bottom one is closer to Radiant's. Only the active Roshan pit will show as a minimap icon. Roshan initially spawns in the bottom pit. Starting at 15 minutes, Roshan will follow the day-night cycle, walking across the river towards his designated pit. Top at night and bottom at day. Roshan no longer has bonus move speed while moving between pits. Roshan now has basic 25% slow resistance and an additional 25% slow resistance when running between pits. When running into a hero while moving between pits, Roshan will stop and grab them before violently throwing them away. Yee! Upon landing, heroes are stunned for 1 second and take 200 pure damage. 0.5% of the target's current health per minute of game time. Each time Roshan throws a hero, he gains 70 bonus move speed and increasing throw damage by additional 100 units. He reaches his destination pit. After 5 throws, Roshan ignores heroes on his way. Okay. Throw distance 1500. Max bonus move speed 300. Can be blocked by spell blocking abilities and items like Lincoln Sphere, but can't be reflected. Heroes will be thrown away from Roshan based on their relative position to him. Added a Roshan icon near the minimap that shows Roshan's state: alive, dead, maybe alive, and location. If Roshan is dead, the status will also include a timer until his possible respawn. Since Roshan's respawn takes between 8 to 11 minutes. During this window, the status will say that he may be alive, but also include a timer until guaranteed respawn. If a team gains vision over Roshan, or Roshan's Roar of Retribution is heard during the status, the timer will be updated to inform that Roshan is alive. Templar Assassin's third eye in it will cause the icon to display exactly when and where Roshan will respawn. Roar of Retribution now also applies a 2-second disarm on all affected units. Radius decreased from 900 to 600. Cast point from 0.1 second to 0.5 seconds. Cooldown increased from 20 seconds to 60 seconds. Roshan's knockback now has a 2-second cooldown before it can be applied to the same unit again. Added a unique attack animation for Bash, as well as a new animation and particles for Roar of Retribution. Tormentor spawns repositioned to the corners of the map. There is only a single Tormentor active at a time. Tormentor now spawns for the first time at 15 minutes. Tormentor now grants 250 gold to each team member on death. Tormentor is also dependent on the day and night cycle, so it's at Radiant's side at night and Dire's side at day. As a result, it will always appear at the Radiant side first. Due to this, Roshan and Tormentor are always on opposite sides. Tormentor's abilities now scale with game time instead of the number of deaths. I had to get a bug for my girlfriend. It was a stink bug. But, I gotta be manly man. Even though I'm dressed like a soft boy, let me check everything's in order. Cool. Okay. Due to this, Roshan and Tormentor now are always on opposite sides. Okay, Tormentor abilities now skill with game time instead of number of deaths. Unyielding Shield. Damage absorbed reskilled from 2500 plus 200 per death to 1900 plus 20 per minute of game time. Unyielding Shield. Barrier regeneration reskilled from 100 plus 100 per death to 30 plus 5 per minute game time. Reflect. Damage percentage reskilled from 90 plus 20 per death to 50 plus 2 per minute of game time. The Shining. Damage per second increased from 30 to 60. The Shining. Radius decreased from 1200 to 1000. Okay, that's cool. Alleviation. New ability. After dying, the Tormentor leaves behind a 900 radius aura that increases health regeneration of all units in the area by 2% of their max health and lasts 15 seconds. So the Tormentor heals you after you kill it. That's alleviating. Let me scratch my nose here. My goodness. Haters will say in the comments that I'm picking my nose. Alright, let's keep on going to the Lotus Pool. Change the way healing lotuses are collected from Lotus Pools. Lotus Pools now have 3 entrances and an empty region in the center. Heroes will automatically gather lotuses when within 350 units of the center of a pool as long as they have available space in their inventory. The first lotus takes 1.5 seconds to collect, and each subsequent lotus in a row takes 30% less time. The timer only counts down when all heroes within range are on the same team, pausing if an enemy hero enters the area and resuming when the enemy leaves. If multiple allied heroes are all within range, the lotus will be granted to a random hero. Lotus pools will now spawn great lotuses after tier 4 neutral items are available. Lotus pools will now spawn greater lotuses after tier 5 neutral items are available as well. Excuse me, I think I feel a little nasally. I got that viscous nasal glue. Shrine of Wisdom. Wisdom runes removed and replaced with new buildings. Shrine of Wisdom. Shrine of Wisdoms are located in the offlane side jungles between the tier 1 and 2 towers where the ancient creek camps used to be. The shrines will activate every 7 minutes, glowing and filling with experience. To gather the experience from an activated shrine, a hero must stand within 300 units for 3 seconds. Like Lotus Pools, the shrine will not count down time if an enemy hero contests by standing within the effect radius, and will resume only if the enemy hero leaves the area or is killed. Experience will be granted to a random hero within 300 units of the shrine and also their teammate with the lowest experience. Okay, cool. Spawn intervals increased from 3 minutes to 4 minutes. Gold provided after the initial set reskilled 36 plus 9 per 5 minutes to 40 plus 6 per 4 minutes. Other terrain changes. The region-specific map buffs, mighty mines, etc. have been removed. Corner outposts have been removed. The twin gates have been repositioned to the corners of the map, and new high ground area near tormentors touched up the map in general. Slightly adjusted neutral camps, trees, and cliffs. Okay. Lifesteal. Individual abilities no longer have special rules about how lifesteal works in different situations. Heroes versus creeps versus illusions, damage types, etc. Lifesteal mechanics are now consistent across every ability. Lifesteal applies to physical damage from attacks and is reduced by 40% when damaging non-heroes. Spell lifesteal now applies physical damage from spells and magical damage from spells or attacks and is reduced by 80% when damaging non-heroes. Neither lifesteal nor spell lifesteal applies to pure damage. Holding Alt while looking at items that provide lifesteal or spell lifesteal will show the lifesteal percentages for attacking and casting spells and targeting creeps versus heroes. The following source targets do not provide any lifesteal. Attacks that do not proc attack modifiers. Attacks damage against wards, buildings, or couriers. Spell damage against illusions, wards, buildings, or couriers. I read that twice. Reflected damage, spells that remove health instead of dealing direct damage, any damage dealt to self or allies. A small number of abilities that do not use lifesteal or spell lifesteal will result in healing can benefit from lifesteal amp. Lifestealer's open wounds heals attackers for a percentage of the damage done. Lifestealer's feast heals a percentage of their target's max health. Meeple's ransack heals all meeples a flat amount for each strike. Neutral creep updates. Can I use my arrow keys here? Heck yeah. Okay. Whew. Flooded camps. Neutral creep camps that reside within a stream are considered flooded camps. Flooded camps are populated with new amphibian neutral creeps. These creep camps are Easy camp on the rim between tier 1 and tier 2 towers, medium camp on the rim near tier 2 towers, the medium camp in the main jungle that was on the stream's way and used to be a hard camp. As the tides of the battle rise, creeps in these special camps evolve. Every 5 minutes, one of the creeps in that camp will be forever upgraded to the next tier. Each camp consists of 3 units. As a result, at 15 minutes, Easy camp completely turns into immediate camp, and both medium camps will become hard ones. At 30 minutes, medium camps will become a hard one. Both hard camps will evolve to ancient ones. Each creep can only be upgraded twice, meaning an easy camp will never reach an ancient status. Sorry, Polywogs. Units are not upgraded if the camp is blocked. Amount of upgraded units can be increased, so if there is only one ancient creep attempting to stack that camp, will not create another ancient creep. These camps consist of the following creeps. Easy camp is 3 Polywogs. Medium camp is 2 Boglets and a Marshmage apprentice. Hard camp is Croakers and Marshmage. Ancient camp is Ancient Croakers and Ancient Marshmage. Polywog, alright. Polywog Butterfree. Let me get a sip of water instead of coffee because I'm feeling dry. Look at him, he's so cute. Polywog. New level 2 melee crepe. 400 health and 200 mana, 270 move speed, 19 to 21 damage, 1 armor and 0% magic resistance, 17 to 19 gold and 30 XP bounty, Riverborn aura, passive, and all allies within a 1200 range receive a 10, 12, 14, 16% move speed and outgoing damage bonus as long as the aura owner is in water. New level 4 melee creep, a Boglet. Okay. 700 health and 300 mana, 24 damage, 290 movement speed, 2 armor and 0 magic resistance, 25, 29 gold, and 42 XP bounty. Arm of the Deep, active. Oh, it has an ability. Send out tentacles in the target's direction, stunning enemies for 0.8 and dealing 80, 100, 120, 140 damage. Range 270, mana cost 40, and cooldown 16. It's a mini Ravage. Arm of the Deep, excuse me. Arm of the Deep. Neutrals will cast this ability on the closest enemy if there are 3 or more enemies within range. Within 550, 2 times the ability's cast range radius. After all copies of this ability on other neutral bloglets within 1200 range are put on 5-second cooldown. I think Chen is about to be like a chain stunning dude. Riverborn Aura, passive. All allies within a 1200 range receive 10, 12, 14, 16% move speed and outgoing damage bonus as long as the aura owner is in the water. Marsh Mage Apprentice, new level 4, range creep. 700 health and 300 mana. 24 to 27 damage, 290 move speed, and 250 attack range. 2 armor, 0 magic resist, 25, 29 gold, and 42 XP bounty. Water Bubble, small, creates a barrier bubble that protects the target from 100, 120, 140, 160 magical damage for 10 seconds. Cast range, mana cost, Water Bubble, small. Okay, so neutrals will cast this ability on a random ally that is below 50% health. And Riverborn Aura, passive. All allies within a 1200 range receive move speed and outgoing damage bonus as long as the aura owner is in the water. Oh, so Chen can be in the water and the aura activates to give it to somebody else. Okay, Croaker, new level 4 melee creep. This seems to be the big boss. 900 health and 350 mana. 41, 46 damage, 300 move speed, 3 armor, 0 magic resist, 37, 41 gold, 55 XP. Tendrils of the Deep, active, sends out tentacles in a cone shape. The target direction, stunning enemies for 1.2 seconds and dealing 120. Okay. 120, 140, 160, 180 damage. Range 300. Mana cost 50. Cooldown 18 seconds. Tendrils of the Deep. Neutrals will cast this ability on the closest enemy if there are 3 or more enemies within range. Within 600 times 2 the ability's cast range radius. After that, all copies of this ability on the neutral cloakers within 1200 range are put on a 5-second cooldown, so they don't share a. Okay. So that you don't chain stun. Okay. I didn't read that part. Riverborn Aura, passive. Okay. All allies within 1200 range receive a 10, 12, 14, 16 move speed. Is in the water. Okay, gotcha. Marsh Mage, new level 4 range creep. 900 health and 350 mana. 40, 45 damage. 300 move speed and 25 attack range, 3 armor and 0 magic resist, 37, 41 gold, 55 bounty, water bubble medium. It's the same as the last. It creates a barrier bubble that protects the target from 150, 180, 210, 250 magical damage for 10 seconds. After the bubble burst, heals the target for 50% of that amount. Wow, it's a heal. Cast range 550, mana cost 100, cooldown 16 seconds. Water bubble medium. Neutrals will cast this ability on a random ally that is below 50% health. Riverborn Aura is all allies within a 1200 range receive 10, 12, 14, 16% move speed and outgoing damage bonus as long as the aura owner is in the water. Ancient Croaker, new level 5 Ancient Creep, melee creep. Okay. 1,250 health and 450 mana, 60 to 64 damage, 300 move speed, 5 armor, and 30% magic resistance. 53 to 56 gold and 104 XP bounty. Congregation of the Deep active. Sends out tentacles in 6 durations around itself, stunning enemies for 1.4 seconds and dealing 250, 275, 300, 3 damage. Okay, that's just straight up Ravage, like a mini Ravage. And a 300 range, mana cost 70, cooldown 20 seconds, every 20 seconds. Neutral creeps will cast this ability if there are 3 or more enemies within 600. 2 times the ability's range, radius, and at least 1 unit within cast range. After that, all copies of this ability on other neutral ancient croakers within 1200 range are put on 5-second cooldown. Riverborn Aura passive. All allies within a 1200 range receive a 10, 12, 14, 16% move speed and outgoing damage bonus as long as the Aura owner is in the water. Ancient March Mage, huh? Excuse me. New level 5 Ancient Range Creep. 1,250 health and 450 mana. 58 and 62 damage. 300 move speed and 500 attack range, 5 armor and 30% magic resist, 53, 56 gold, 104 bounty, XP, water bubble, large, creates a burial bubble that protects its target from 210, 240, 207, and 300 magic damage for 10 seconds. After the bubble bursts, heals the target and all allies in a 670 radius for 50% of that amount. Cast range 50, 550 mana cost. Okay. 110 cooldown 16 seconds. Water bubble large. Neutrals will cast this ability on a random ally that is below 15 health. Riverborn Aura passive. All allies within a 1200 range receiving a 10, 12, 14, 60% move speed and outgoing damage bonus as long as the Aura owner is in the water. This is going to be like nice in Roshan. Ancient Prowlers. Prowlers have returned as an ancient creep camp. Each camp consists of 2 Prowler Acolytes and 1 Prowler Shaman. Average bounty 150 gold and 314 experience. Ancient Prowler Acolyte. Returning Ancient Melee Creep. Health increased from 600 to 750. XP bounty increased from 50 to 95. Gold bounty decreased from 52.58 to 37.43. Base attack time increased from 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds. Base attack speed increased from 100 to 35. Attack point decreased from 0.83 seconds to 0.3 seconds. These changes result in longer attack time but smaller time between attacks, leaving overall DPS unchanged. Turn rate improved from 0.5 to 0.9. Prowler Aura no longer stacks with itself. Lifesteal rescaled from 10% to 9, 10, 11, 12%. Health regen rescaled from 10 to 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay. Returning Prowler Shaman. Level increased from 5 to 6. Health increased from 1200 to 1400. XP bounty increased from 95 to 124. Gold bounty increased from 58.69 to 76.80. Base attack time increased from 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds. Base attack speed increased from 100 to 135. Attack point decreased from 0.83 seconds to 0.3 seconds. Turn rate improved from 0.5 to 0.9. Desecrate. Number of enemy units in range required to trigger cast increased from 1 to 3. Petrify. Neutral will auto-cast this ability only if Ancient Prowler Shaman has less than 90% health at the start of the attack. Petrify DPS increased from 75 to 100. Petrify duration decreased from 2 seconds. Decreased from 2 seconds to 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5 seconds. And damage taken treble decreased from 0.5 to 1 second. Other creep changes. Kobold. Prospecting Aura is no longer unbreakable. Slam from the Ancient Thunderhide. Number of enemy units in range required to trigger the cast decreased from 4 to 3. Hey, the secret item, a block of cheese. Scrumptious Scrumptious now restores 3,000 health and 2,000 mana when consumed. Scrumptious Savory Shield now has a 5-minute duration. Scrumptious can no longer be cast on an ally to give them the buff. However, if the item is still fully shareable. Okay, bottle. No longer refills when the carrier has a lingering fountain regeneration buff. Carrier must physically be in the fountain. Okay. No more bottle shenanigans. Blightstone renamed to Orb of Blight, I see. Lesser corruption duration decreased from 8 seconds to 3 seconds. So bunk, bunk, bunk. No longer bunk. Orb of Frost. New item. New basic equip item. Provides no bonuses. Just passive frost on attack. Slows enemies by 13% if the attack target is ranged. And 5% if the attack target is melee. Reduces target incoming healing by 13%. Okay. Orb of Venom. Cost increase from 250 to 350. 100 extra gold. Poison attack now has 9-second cooldown. Poison attack no longer slows movement speed. And damage per second increased from 2 to 10. Yo, okay. Duration increased from 2 to 3 seconds. Okay. Sentry Ward. Restock time decreased from 80 to 70. Yes! Yes, because Invis Cancer is true. True sight radius increased. Less Invis. Smoke of Deceit. Added visual indicator over the caster of the smoke. Wind laced cost decreased from 250 to 225. Move speed bonus decreased from 20 to 15. Okay. Recipe change. Now requires Skull Basher, Sange, and a 1275 gold recipe. Total cost unchanged at 6,250. Used to require Skull Basher, Vanguard, and a 1675 gold recipe. Give Sange now. Okay. Now provides 35 damage, 26 strength, 25% slow resist, and 25 health and lifesteal. Amp no longer provides 250 health and plus 10 health regen. And removed the damage block ability. Replenish mana and rename to Replenish. Okay, Arcane Boots. Why? To match the naming of mechanisms, Restore and Guardian Greaves Mend. Okay. Recipe change. Now requires second broadsword instead of a claymore. Recipe cost increased from 450 to 600. The total cost increased from 4100. Decreased from 4100 to 3900. Okay, so anti-mages are going to be a little happier. Bonus damage decreased from 65 to 50, and cleave damage to heroes decreased from 70% to 60%. So if Sven has it, the cleave will not be insane, I guess. Bloodstone no longer provides 75 AoE radius increase. Blood Pact now applies a basic dispel on cast. Bloodthorn. Soul Rend True Strike on a silenced target is now limited only to the item owner and their controlled units. Soul Rend Silence visual above effects target is now tinted red to better distinguish Bloodthorn's silence from another source of silence. Okay. Boots of Bearing. Total cost decreased from 4,275 to 4,225. A whole 50 gold. Due to Windlace's cost decrease. Yep. Drums. Total cost decreased from 1650 to 1625. Endurance no longer uses charges. Yee! Endurance cooldown increased from 30 to 45. Okay. Endurance bonus attack speed decreased from 45 to 35. Swiftness aura move speed bonus decreased from 20 to 15. Ethereal Blade. Ether Blast primary attribute multiplier for universal heroes decreased from 60 to 45. Yule Scepter total cost decreased from 2,625 to 2,600 due to the windlace. Okay. I have Scotty. Recipe changed. Now also requires Robe of Frost. Recipe cost decreased from 1,300 to 1050. Total cost unchanged at 5,300. Hand of Midas. Transmute now grants a Madstone bundle when used on the neutral creep. Heaven's Halberd reworked. Requires a Vanguard, Crown, Ring of Regen, and 270 gold recipe. Provides 275 health regen, and attributes. Okay, so, oh goodness. Yes, a Vanguard upgrades into a Heaven's Halberd. That is so good. Grants, that really puts a bane on right clickers. Grants 60% chance to block 60 damage from attacks on melee heroes, 30 on ranged. Active, disarm now can be dispelled. I Mana cost decreased from 75 to 25. Duration and range heroes decreased from 5 to 4. That's sad. I can already hear PA. Gleipnir. Recipe change now requires point booster instead of the Maelstrom. Recipe cost increased from 550 to 1,100. Total cost decreased. Now also provides AoE bonus and 200 mana. Health bonus increased from 275 to 450. Intelligence bonus decreased from 25 to 15. Eternal Chains no longer deals damage. Eternal Chains radius decreased from 350 to 275. Effective spell radius unchanged due to items built-in AoE bonus. Eternal Chains mana cost decreased and removed Chain Lightning ability. Okay. I agree with that. It having Chain Lightning and just bloom and it is absurd. Arc Warden main talking that is strong. Mage Slayer recipe change now requires Gloves of Haste, Cloak, Orb of Venom, and Cornucopia. Total cost decreased from 2,825 to 2,800. Used to require Oblivion Staff, Cloak, and a 400 gold recipe. No longer provides 10 intelligence. Now provides 5 health regen and 8 damage. Attack speed bonus decreased from 45 to 30. Mask of Madness. Berserk moment boost speed decreased from 35 to 25. Orb of Corrosion. Item reworked. Requires Orb of Frost, Orb of Blight, and Band of Elfskin. Total cost 1,000. Provides 8 agility. Passive Corrosion on attack slows enemy by 16% of the target is range, 6% of the target is melee. Also reduces the target's incoming healing by 20%, and their armor by 3. Duration 3%. Armor reduction does not stack with its component, Desolator, or Stygian Desolator. Yo, I like that. Phylactery. Empower spell cooldown increase from 6 seconds to 12 seconds. Screw you, Zeus. Empower spell movement slow decreased from 50% to 30%, and slow duration increased from 1.5 to 3 seconds. That's a lot. Conda, item reworked. Recipe change now requires Tiara of Salamene instead of Chrysalis. Cost increased from 500 to 1,500. Total cost increased from 5,100 to 5,900. Now provides 8 mana regen instead of 50 damage. Remove critical strike ability. Empower spell no longer deals attack damage. No bonus damage increased from 150 to 250. Now applies break on the target, disabling the passive ability for the duration. Conda is a break for spellcasters now. Move slow decrease from 50 to 30%. Debuff duration increase from 1.5 to 3 seconds. Revenant's Brooch requires Chrysalis, Voodoo Mask, and 600 gold recipe. 35 damage, 6% lifesteal. Removed Phantom Province ability. Passive Phantom Critical. Grants each attack 30% chance to deal bonus magical damage equal to 80% of the attack's damage. This is considered critical damage for other sources of critical strikes. This ability has no effect on buildings. Sanj and Yasha. What, really? Status resistance bonus decreased from 25 to 20. Shadow Blade. Recipe changed. Now requires a claymore instead of broadsword. And total cost increased from 3,000 to 3,350. Bonus damage increased from 20 to 25. Silver Edge. Total cost increased from 540.50 to 5,800 due to Shadow Blade changes. And bonus damage increased from 60 to 70. Solar Crest. Total cost decreased from 26 to 250.75 due to Windlace cost decrease. Tranquil Boots 2 from the Windlace cost decreased and decreased by 25 gold, I guess. Yeah. Wind Waker also recipe change. Now requires Orb of Venom. Recipe cost decreased from 600 to 250. Total cost unchanged at 2775. Neutral item updates. Neutral creeps no longer drop neutral tokens. Neutral stash has been removed. Neutral items can no longer be dropped or moved to a hero's backpack when available. Fully clearing a neutral creep camp provides the players with a Madstone. Collecting enough Madstone allows the player to craft a neutral item by selecting one artifact and one enchantment. Obtaining Madstone. Fully clearing a neutral creep camp provides Madstone for the killing player's team. The player who collects Madstone receives 2 in 1, giving the random teammate. Drop Madstone is automatically collected if there are no enemy heroes within an 800 unit radius of the last creep to die, and there is an allied hero within 1200 units of the dead creep. Otherwise, it is left on the ground where the creep died and can be collected by either team. If the player who collects the Madstone is already at their limit, more info below. All their Madstone is also evenly split between teammates. Item tiers. Neutral items are now composed of 2 parts, artifacts and enchantments. Artifacts are the ability of the item and can be passive or active. Enchantments provide passive stats and attributes to items. Similar to the previous neutral item systems, items are arranged by tiers. Each item is now only available past a specific point in time. Each artifact belongs to a single tier. Enchantments have multiple levels and can be found in multiple tiers. Okay, coffee break. When crafting, players are given a choice of 4 artifacts, 4 enchantments, and choose one of each. Artifacts will provide 3 options from the current tier, and last option will be to keep the current artifact. Enchantments will provide 4 options from the current tier with no option to keep the current enchantment. Crafting a neutral item replaces the existing neutral item, if there is one. Players must craft a tier 1 neutral item before they can craft a tier 2 neutral item. Crafting a tier 1 neutral item takes 5 Madstone. Crafting tier 2, 3, 4, or 5 neutral items takes 10 Madstone. Tier 5 neutral items can be recrafted for an escalating 10 Madstone cost. Why? The first time a tier 5 neutral item is recrafted, the cost is 20 Madstone, then 30 Madstone, etc. I guess if you want to rechange it. Madstone limits. Players are limited in the amount of Madstone they can obtain at any given point in time at a specific intervals. The limit will increase enough to allow players to craft the next tier of neutral items. At the start of the game, the Madstone cap is 0. No Madstone will drop from killed creep camps. At 5 minutes, the Madstone cap is 5. Tier 1, Tier 2. Okay. At 5 minutes, the maximum cap is increased to 5. At 15, the maximum cap is increased to 15. At 25 minutes, the maximum cap is increased to 25. At 35 minutes, the maximum cap is increased to 35. At 60 minutes, the maximum cap is increased to 45. At 70 minutes, the maximum cap is removed, and players can collect infinite madstone. This is so that the player can recraft their tier 5 neutral item in infinite times. Okay. Turbo. Madstone ability times are halved in turbo. Okay. Tier 1 at 2:30 instead of 5 minutes, I guess. Collecting madstones results in 3 madstone for the players and 2 for their team. Okay. List of neutral artifacts. Mana Drought. Okay. New tier 1 neutral artifact. Active. Bottoms up. Restores 60 mana plus 2% of the caster's max mana over 6 seconds. It's a clarity, I guess. Taking damage from an enemy, hero, or Roshan ends the effect early. Can be shared similarly to Bottle, with the effects still dependent on caster's mana. Cast range 650. No mana cost. Cooldown 40 seconds. Passive. Fill up. Cooldown speed is increased by 30% while wearer is in the water. Okay. Occult Bracelet. Now is a tier 1 neutral artifact. Passive. Rites of Eloshar. Each time the wearer is attacked, they gain a stack of 0.4 mana regen up to 5 stacks. Stacks less up to 5 seconds. Now is a tier 1 neutral artifact. Passive. Impending Corruption. Attacks reduce the target's armor by 2 and slow their movement by 10% if the wearer is melee or 5% of the wearer is ranged. Okay. Pig Pole. Now is a tier 1 neutral item. Active. Pig out. Turns your hero into a critter for 4 seconds and gives them 50% move speed. No mana. Cost. Cooldown 25. Polywog Charm. New tier 1 neutral artifact. Active. Ribbit. Increase an ally's health regeneration by 8 seconds for 10 seconds while in water. The blessed unit also have 10% moves 10% faster. There we go. I'm going to double check things here. Okay. While in water, the blessed unit also have moves 10% faster, cast range over 1000, mana cost 40, cooldown 45%. Okay. Ripper Slash, new tier 1 neutral artifact. Active Flay. Embed thorns into all enemies in a 200 unit AoE for the next 10 seconds when they are attacked. They take additional physical damage. Okay. Hero attacks do 12 damage. Non-hero attacks do 4. Cast range 700. No mana cost. Cooldown 30%. Spark of Courage. Now a tier 1 neutral item. Passive Courage provides 10 damage when the hero is above 15% health. 5 armor when they are below that threshold. Okay. Trusty Shovel. Now neutral artifact. Channel 1 second to dig up a bounty rune, healing salve, enchanted mango, or Kobold. Digging in a river always digs up a water rune. Cast range 250. Okay. 60 seconds, so it's every minute. Brigand's Blade returning as a tier 2. Okay. Passive. Dark Mercy. Wielder's attacks deal 3 more damage to enemies for each 5% they are missing. Okay. Essence Ring, returning as a tier 2. Life Essence, increase current and maximum health by 240 for 15 seconds. Mana cost 150 and 25-second cooldown. Cool, just extra HP. That's really freaking cool. Now is a tier 2 neutral artifact. 6 Sense, automatically dodges an attack from an enemy hero. That's pretty much unchanged. Target a non-player to remove 80% of his current HP, instantly destroy the targeted tree. Cast range 350, no mana cost. 20-second cooldown. When used on creeps, 4 second when used on a tree. Searing Signet. New tier 2. Burn Through. Instances of 40 magical damage or more set enemies on fire for 5 seconds, causing them to take 15 magical damage per second. This effect doesn't stack, doesn't affect buildings. Tick rate 0.25 seconds. Total damage 75 seconds. Tumbler Toy returning. Active Vault propels your hero forward 300 units. Can't be used within 3 seconds if its owner receives damage. Okay. From a player source. No mana cost. Cooldown 15 seconds. Gale Guard. New tier 3 neutral artifact. Tumbler Toy is a tier 2, dude. Active. Cyclonic Shield envelops the caster in 400 all damage barrier that blocks 75% of incoming damage and lasts for up to 10 seconds. While active, the barrier also provides 50% slow resistance. No mana cost. Cooldown 30 seconds. Gunpowder Gauntlets. Okay, new tier 3. Passive. Beat the crowd. Your next attack splashes to all enemies in a 250 unit radius for 50% of the attack damage. Original target isn't affected by the splash, but takes an additional 120 magical damage instead. 6-second cooldown. So, tier 3 Battle Fury. If that on Earthshaker would be pretty dope. Nemesis Cure. Now is a tier 3 neutral artifact. Glass Cannon. The owner takes 8% more damage from all sources. When attacking a hero, applies a debuff, increasing the damage they receive by that hero for 12% for 5 seconds. Only one target can be affected by Glassify at the same time. Ninja Gear is now a tier 3 neutral artifact. Solitary Disguise. Cast Smoke of the Seed on yourself. Only lasts up to 15 seconds. No mana cost. Cooldown 1 minute. Serrated Shiv. New tier 3 neutral item. Passive. Got him. Attacks have 20% chance to have True Strike and deal 10% of the target's current health as bonus physical damage. Okay. Proc against Roshan, always deal a fixed 200 bonus damage. Illusions may create the proc effect, but deal no additional damage. Cooldown 1 second. Whisper of the Dread. Equip hero has their daytime vision reduced. Okay, that one's unchanged. Ceremonial Robe. That one's unchanged. Crippling Crossbow. New tier 4 neutral artifact. Active Hobble. Hits an enemy for 75 damage, then slows their movement speed by 80% and reduces their health restoration by 40% for 4 seconds. Slow fades over the duration of the debuff, while the health regeneration restore penalty is constant for the duration. Cast range 600, mana cost 75, cooldown 27. Buff Sniper, they said. Magnifying Monocle. Tier 4 neutral artifact. Passive Keen Eye increases the cast range by 125, attack range by 100, melee and ranged. Taking over 25 damage from the player controlled source, so Roshan disables this effect. Okay. Mindbreaker. Now is tier 4 neutral artifact. Silent Strike. That one's okay. That one's unchanged. Ogre Seal. Unchanged. A new item, okay. A new tier 4 neutral item called a Pyrrhic Cloak. Active Retribution. Mark an enemy unit for 6 seconds. 60% of all damage dealt to the caster is dealt to the cast. Mark an enemy unit for 6 seconds. Excuse me. 60% of all damage dealt to the caster is reflected to the marked unit as physical damage. Cast range 800. No mana cost and cooldown 40 seconds. Book of the Dead is now a tier 5. Okay. Greater Demonic Summoning. Okay. That one's still the same. Fallen Sky returning. Transformed Wielder into a meteor that strikes the target 315 radius after 1 second flight. All hit enemy units and are all hit enemy units are stunned for 1.5 seconds, dealt 150 on impact damage, and set on fire for 6 seconds, which deals 60 magical damage for every 1 second. Affects buildings. Impact damage for buildings is reduced by 50%. Cast range 1200. No mana cost and cooldown 50%. Magic Lamp is now a tier 5 neutral artifact. Passive Regenerate. When the wearer's health falls before 20%, they receive a hard Dispel and be healed for 1500 health and a cooldown of 75 seconds. That's like a passive cheese, right? New Minotaur Horn, returning as a tier 5. A lesser avatar, applies a basic dispel, grants 50% magic resistance and immunity to pure and reflected damage for 2 seconds for the duration of the effect. Any negative effect done from enemy spells have no effect. No mana cost, cooldown 40%. Pirate Hat, now is a tier 5 neutral item. Passive, Plunder, steals 150 gold from enemy heroes that die within 1200 units. If the wearer of the hat is the killer, there is no range limit and an additional 150 gold is stolen. Passive, Buried Treasure, gold loss on death is reduced by 100%, so you don't lose gold when you die with a pirate hat. Spider Legs! I guess the wish was heard. Returning as a tier 5 neutral artifact. Grants 20% move speed, 50% turn rate, free pathing for 10 seconds, walking over trees, causing them to be destroyed. No mana cost and a cooldown of 20 seconds. Stygian Desolator as a tier 5 neutral artifact. Passive, Greater Corruption. Your attacks reduce the target's armor by 13 for 7 seconds. Unrelenting Eye. New tier 5 neutral artifact. Passive, Relentless, provides 100% slow resistance. This bonus is reduced by 20% for every enemy hero within 300 units. List of every neutral enchantment. Okay, let me grab some coffee for this one. Okay. Alert, it's green and shiny, my favorite color. Available at tiers 1, 2, 3, and 4. 10. Plus 10, 15, 20, 25 attack speed, and 0, 150, 225, 300 bonus night vision. Brawny, available at tiers 1, 2, 3, and 4, plus 125, 175, 225, 275 health, plus 0, 4, 8, 12 health regeneration. Mystical, available at tiers 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 1, 2, 3, 4 mana regeneration, plus 0, 10, 16, 22% magic resistance. Quickened, available at tiers 1, 2, 3, and 4, plus 15, 20, 25, 30 movement speed, plus 0, 100, on 60, 220 mana. Okay, that's it for Quickened, right? Move speed and mana? Tough. Available at tiers 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 5, 8, 11, 14 damage, and 0, 4, 7, 10 armor. Okay, there's Vast, available at tiers 2 and 3, which gives you 60, 90 attack range, melee and ranged. Okay, so it gives you attack range. Greedy, okay, available as tiers 2 and 3, plus 75, plus 100 GPM, and plus 200, plus 250 mana, and minus 30 and 60 attack damage. So, Philosopher's Stone in this will be nice. Keen-Eyed, available at tiers 2 and 3, plus 225, 135 cast range, plus 1.5 mana regeneration. Okay, minus 15% maximum mana with cast range and mana regen. Okay. Vampiric, available at tiers 2, 3, and 4, plus 12, 16, 20% lifesteal, plus 8, 12, 16 spell lifesteal. Alright, Timeless, available at tiers 4 and 5, plus 10, 15 debuff amplification, plus 20% spell amplification. That's going to be Shadow Fiend. Titanic, available at tiers 4 and 5, plus 15, 25 base attack damage, plus 10, 15% status resistance. Okay, there's Crude, available at tier 4 and 5, plus 20, 30% slow resistance, and minus 12, 18% base attack time. Minus 15% intelligence. So I see Slark with that one. Boundless, available at tier 5, plus 150 attack speed, melee and range, and 350 cast range. Evolved, available at Tier 5. Plus 40 primary stat, available at Tier 5. Feverish, available at Tier 5. Minus 15% cooldown reduction. Minus 15 mana cost, mana loss increase. Alright, Wise, available at Tier 5. Plus 600 experience per minute. Audacious, available at Tier 5. Plus 100 attack speed. Plus, plus 80 magic attack damage. Minus 10% incoming damage. Fleet-footed, available at Tier 5. Plus 115 move speed. Okay. Let's get to the heroes, which this is the nitty gritty. Nitty gritty. Abaddon, Universal, base attack damage increased by 25, base intelligence increased from 19 to 18, damage at level 1 increased by 10, from 40 to 50 to 50 to 60, strength gain increased from 2.2 to 2.6, agility increased from 1.3 to 1.5, intelligence gain increased from 1.6 to 2, damage gain per level decreased from 3.6 to 2.7, damage at level 30 decreased by 25. Damage at level 30 decreased by 25 from 173 to 180 to 140, 178. Okay. Facets, the Quickening. Cooldown reduction per hero death increased from 6 seconds to from 4 seconds to 6 seconds. Level 10 talents plus 15% Curse of Avernus movement speed slow replaced with 10% Withering Mist healing reduction. Okay. Alchemist, Aghanim Scepter granting moved from Chemical Rage to Grievel's Greed. Grievel's Greed. Alchemist gains plus 75 GPM for each Aghanim Scepter he has granted to allies. Okay, dividends. Cool. Aghanim Scepter granting range increased from 600 to global. Aghanim Scepter granting is now announced to all allies and spectators. Radius decreased from 400, 475, 550, 625 to 350, 400, 450, 500. Now applies 1 corrosive weaponry stack with each tick of damage. Unstable Concoction now applies 1 corrosive weaponry stack per second of brew time. Corrosive weaponry stacks are also applied when enemies take damage from alchemist spells. Acid Prey applies 1 stack per second. Unstable Concoction applies 1 stack per second of brew time. Stacks per attack increase from 1 to 2. Max stacks increase from 4, 6, 8, 10 to 10, 12, 14, 16. Movement slow per stack decrease from 4, 5, 6, 7 to 15 to 0.53%. That's going to slow you now. Base attack damage reduction per stack decreased from 3, 4, 5, 6% to 1.52, 2.53%. Chemical Rage, move speed bonus decreased from 30, 45, 60 to 20, 30, 40. Ancient Apparition. Cold Feet. Stun duration rescaled from 1.9, 2.2, 2.5, 2.8 to 1.8, 2.2, 2.6, 3 seconds. Break distance is no longer affected by AoE bonuses. Chilling Touch. Attack range bonus rescaled from 60, 120, 180, 240, 280, 120, 160, 200. Death Rhyme stacks increased from 1 to 2. Death Rhyme duration decreased from 4 to 3. Aghanim Scepter mana cost reduction decreased from 50% to 40%. Release sub ability can now be cast while silenced. Frostbitten heroes will now have a visual indicator on their overhead health bar showing where the shatter threshold is. The indicator is visible to everyone. Anti-Mage, agility hero. Magebane's Mirror reworked. Counterspell burns 150, 190, 230, 270 of the countered ability's mana cost from its caster and deals damage equals to 100% of the burned mana, up to 400 damage per reflected spell. Spell reflection no longer exclusive to this facet. Counterspell ally burns 270% of the countered ability's mana cost from its caster's deals damage to 100% of the burn mana up to 400 damage per reflected spell. Spell reflection no longer exclusive to this facet. Abilities. Counterspell now reflects spells by default. Passive magic resistance rescaled from 15, 25, 35, 45% to 16, 25, 32, 40%. It got nerfed. Counterspell ally now reflects spells by default. Alright, big boss. Arc Warden is now a universal hero. You all have no idea how busted that is going to be. Base damage is decreased by 10. Okay, I'll take that. Damage at level 1 decreased by 2. So from 53, 59 to 51, 57. Damage gain per level increased from 3 to 3.6. Damage at level 30 increased by 11 from 160 to 175, 181. Zet has attuned to the new frontiers and no longer has Tempest version of abilities. Removed order and disorder facets. Whew! Runes Replica. Tempest Double is now infused with bonuses of power runes for 10 seconds when created, meaning level 1 he's already invisible at spawn because he has an invisibility rune, level 2 invisibility rune, and arcane runes, so he's going to be spammy as heck with this facet. Invisibility, arcane, and haste, meaning he's just going to be able to like send him anywhere. If he sees you, he'll solo you out with just his double. Power Capture. Arc, which is the one I'm probably going to use. Arc Warden gains 1.5 all attributes permanently upon activating any power rune. Magnetic Field. Once created, the field pulls all runes in 120 to 180, 1800, 2400, 3000 radius towards it with increasing speed. Any rune that's within magnetic field or is pulled into it, it is automatically activated. Rune acceleration is 150. Okay. Now has the same effect for both Arc Warden and Tempest Double. Deals 15, 30, 45, 60 damage per second and slows target's move speed by 14, 21, 28, 35%. Now upgraded with Aghanim Scepter. Silences when the target is alone. Increased damage by 15% and duration by 2 seconds. Excuse me. That's gross. Sorry. Excuse me. Magnetic Field is now a point. So I can just the room, dude. Is now a point targeted ability with a 900 cast range. Can be double tapped to cast Self, and now has the same effect for both Arc Warden and Tempest Double. Creates a circular distortion field that grants 100% evasion and 30, 60, 90, 100 bonus attack speed to all allied units within. It's old school bubble. No longer upgraded with the Aghanim Shard. Spark Wraith now has the same effect for both Arc Warden and Tempest Double. Old Spark Wraith. Activation is 1.5 seconds, flies at 550, slows enemies for 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, and deals 100, 170, 240, and 310 damage. No longer does 40% more damage to non-hero units. No longer upgrades with Aghanim Scepter. Now upgrades with Aghanim Shard. So that's gonna like pretty much be my farming item is Shard, I guess. When Spark Wraith activates, a secondary Spark Wraith will fuse with the next closest target that deals 80% damage. Increase Spark Wraith search radius by 100%. They're bigger. Tempest Double cooldown decreased from 190-80 to 60-55-50. Duration decreased from 60 to 18, 21, 24. So it's going to be for a brief moment. It's an ult. Now spawns with Arc Warden's current health and mana. Tempest Double no longer has penalties when more than 2,000 range away from Arc Warden. No longer restarts the ability cooldown if the Tempest Double is killed, loses its sense of self, and fractures over time, becoming slower and less accurate. Mischance, 35%. Max self slow, 35%. So it just misses attacks and it's slower. Magnetic level 15 talent, magnetic field, attack speed increased from 16 to 25. Level 15 talent, 2 seconds flux duration replaced 20% flux slow. Level 25 talent, flux silence says when target is alone, replaced with minus 1 second spark wraith activation delay. Base damage increased by 1 second. Damage at level 21 increased from 55 to 59 to 56, 60. Okay. Battle Hunger. Damage per second increased from 10, 15, 20, 25 to 12, 18, 24, 30. Big buffs. Counter Helix. Damage rescaled from 95, 120, 145, 175 to 100, 120, 140, 160. It's a nerf. Aghanim Scepter. Attack damage reduction decreased from 20% to 15%. It's a nerf. Calling Blade. Cooldown reduction decreased from 100, 185, 70 to 80, 75, 70. Okay, it's a buff. Bane. Base attack damage increased by 25. Damage at level 1 increased by 8. From 47.53 to 55.61. Damage gain per level decreased. Plus 5.7 to plus 3.6. Damage at level 30 decreased by 61 from 240, 246 to 179, 185. Facets. Dreamstalker. Nightmare. Attack speed bonus increased from 40, 50, 60, 70 to 40, 60, 80, 100. Sleepwalk. Nightmare. Walk speed increased from 85 to 110. Level 10 talent. 3-second brain sap cooldown replaced with 125 brain sap cast range. Batrider, Universal. Base damage increased by 16. Base strength decreased from 25 to 23. Damage at level 1 unchanged, 39.43. Strength gain increased from 2.6 to 2.9. Agility gain increased from 1.4 to 1.8. Intelligence gain from 2 to 2.9. Damage gain per level decreased from 4.2 to 3.4. Damage at level 30 decreased by 34 from 190 to 194 to 156, 164. Facets. As Arsonist. Sticky Napalm building damage increased from 35 to 45%. Flame Break. I'm going to refill my coffee here. Movement slow rescaled from 15, 20, 25, 30% to 8, 16, 25, 32%. Beastmaster. Base damage increased by 23. Damage at level 1 increased by 7. From 49, 53 to 56, 60. Agility gain increased from 1.6 to 1.9. Intelligence gain increased from 1.2 to 1.9. Damage gains per level decreased from 4 seconds to 3 seconds. Damage at level 30 decreased by 32 from 194, 198 to 162, 166. Abilities. Call of the Wild Hawk. Dive damage decreased from 60, 90, 120, 150 to 50, 80, 110, 140. Aghanim Shard no longer decreased cooldown by 5 seconds. Aghanim Shard no longer increases summon duration by 5 seconds, from 25 to 30 seconds. Level 10 Talent. 8% Inner Beast Magic Resist. Replace 5 seconds Call of the Wind cooldown. Blood Seeker. Remove Blood Mist ability. Okay. Blood Rush. That's a facet. Thirst. While active, now also doubles the healing from Sangivore. Okay. Activate bonus move speed increase from 4, 8, 12, 16, 6 to 6, 12, 18, 24%. Bonus move speed while on cooldown increase from 0 to 50%. Sangivore, now upgraded with Aghanim Shard, passively turns all of Bloodseeker's overheal from his own abilities into an all-damage barrier up to 50% of Bloodseeker's max health. Barrier amount decays by 1.5 per second. Now upgraded with Aghanim Scepter. Bloodseeker gains 30% of lifesteal from all pure damage dealt. Blood Rage. No longer upgrades with Aghanim Shard. Now upgrades with Aghanim Scepter. Attacks under effects of Blood Rage deal 3% of target's max health as pure damage. Bloodright damage type change from magical to pure. Love it. Damage decreased from 115, 190, 250, 314 to 90, 145, 200, 255. Okay, I guess that helps. Level 10 talent, Blood Right, damage decreased from 135 to 100. Level 20 talent plus 15% spell lifesteal replaced with minus 7% Blood Rate max health damage per second. Bounty Hunter facets cut purse. Gold steel increase from 4, 8, 12, 16 to 4, 11, 18, 25. That's a buff. Track damage amplification rescaled from 6, 12, 18% to 8, 12, 16%. Self bonus speech decreased from 16, 20, 24 to 12, 16, 20%. Level 10 talent plus 30 Janata damage replaced with plus 20 damage. Level 15 talent track gold increased from plus 45 to plus 50. Brewmaster base damage increased by 17. Okay. Damage at level 1 increased by 2 from 50, 57 to 52, 59. Damage gain per level decreased from 5.1 to 3.3. Damage at level 30 decreased by 61 from 227 2234 to 166 173. Okay. Facets. Roll out the barrel. Cinder Brew. Barrel speed increased from 900 to 950. Barrel impact damage increased from 460, 80, 100 to 40, 70, 100, 130. Abilities. Belligerent. Bonus attack damage increased from 20% to 25. Storm Brawler bonus move speed decreased from 5, 7, 9, 11% to 4, 6, 8, 10%. Level 20 talent attack speed increased from 90 to 100%. Okay, Bristleback removed Berserk facet. It was garbage anyway. Facet, seeing red. Bristleback now shares his vision with his team, but still does not receive his team's vision. Okay, that's the disorienting sounds. Quill spray. Quill sprays that were released by the ability now deal damage that is classified as reflection damage. Aghanim Scepter mana cost increased from 100 to 125. Warpath. Movement speed per stack decreased from 234 to 2.5 3%. Hairball. Mana cost increased from 40 to 60. Is now an agility hero. Base damage increased by 20. Base strength decreased from 19 to 18. Damage at 1 unchanged. 47 to 53. Okay. Strength gain increased from 2.3 to 2.9. Agility gain increased from 2.9 to 3.4. Intelligence gain increased from 1.4 to 2.0. Damage gain per level decreased from 4.4 to 3.4. Damage at level 30 decreased by 45 from 204, 210 to 159, 165. Facets. Necrotic Webs. Spin Web. Enemy region reduction rescaled from 15, 20, 25, 30 to 10, 30, 50, 70. Mega buff. Level 10 talent. 2 Spin Web Max Webs replaced with plus 0.5 Spider's Milk Hero health as heal. Level 25 talent. BAT reduced during insatiable hunger, decreased from 0.3 seconds to 0.25 seconds. Centaur War Runner. Alright, let me take a little break. Facets, Counter-Strike, Double Edge, damage taken as damage bonus increased from 25 to 35. Retaliate damage is now classified as reflection damage. Level 10, talent movement speed decreased from 20 to 15. Chaos Knight, agility gain increased from 1.4 to 1.8. Remove Phantasmagoria facet. Facets, they're new. When Chaos Knight crafts a neutral item, 2 of his artifact choices will be for the current tier, and 2 of his choices will be for the next tier, if possible. He does not get the option to keep his current artifact between tiers. Cloven Chaos. Chaos Bolt. Chaos Bolt splits in half upon striking its target, stunning one additional enemy and damaging another, prioritizing heroes. Bounce range is 60% of the ability's cast range. Additional targets do not create shard illusions. Okay. Cast range increased from 500 to 600. Chaos Strike now follows global lifesteal rules. As a result, creep penalty improved from 70% to 40%. No longer deals bonus. Damage to creeps. Critical minimum decreased from 125% to 120%. Critical maximum increased from 140, 175, 210, 240% to 140, 180, 220, 260%. Okay, Chen is now an intelligence hero. Base damage increased by 18 to 21. Damage at level 1 reskilled from 48 to 55 to 46 56. Damage gain per level decreased from 5.1 to 3.2. Damage at level 3 decreased from 225, 223 to 152, 162. Removed wolf convert facets. Marsh Mage convert. Chen's convert is an amphibian creep. Summon until dependent on the level of Holy Persuasion. Marsh Mage Apprentice levels 0 and 1, or Marsh Mage levels 2 and 2 to 4. Whoa. Divine Favor, no longer upgraded with Aghanim Scepter. Holy Persuasion. Aghanim Scepter, Martyrdom cooldown decreased from 8 seconds to 4 seconds. Cast range decreased from global to 1200. Can no longer be cast on enemies to damage them. Healing changed from current level of Hand of God to instant heal, equal to 30% of Martyr's current health. Talents. Level 10 talents, minus 2 seconds Divine Favor. Teleportation delay, replaced with 150 convert attack speed. Level 25 talent plus 20 plus 10 Hand of God heal over time, replaced with Hand of God fully heals Chen and his creeps. Suppressive fire on clinks. Okay, clinks. Okay. Suppressive fire facet. Strafe. No longer increases of attack range bonus by 100. Mischance debuff duration rescaled to 2 seconds is no longer dependent on strafe and remaining duration. Mischance per stack increased from 5% to 30%. Excuse me. Engulfing Step. Death Pack can now be cast while rooted or leashed, but without teleporting clinks to the target location. Added Alt Cast mode, which disables teleportation. Abilities. Tar Bomb can now be put on auto cast, so clinks will throw a tar bang when attacking if the ability is available. Death Pact. Fix clinks not gaining a Death Pact charge if he has 2 available charges until he has casted at least once. Skeleton Walk. Bonus move speed decreased from 25, 40, 55% to 25, 35, 45%. Level 10 talents. 15 plus 15 tar bomb damage replaced with plus 0.75 strafe duration. Clockwork is now a strength hero. Okay. Base damage increased by 16. Base strength decreased from 25 to 26. Damage at level 1 increased by 2 from 48, 50 to 50, 52. Okay. Strength gain increased from 3.1 to 3.2. Agility gain increased from 2.1 to 2.3. Damage gain per level decreased from 4.8 to 3.2. Damage at level 30 decreased by 662 from 218, 220 to 156, 158. Facets. Hookup. Hookshot no longer requires to hook an allied target. Now requires at least one other allied hero to be within a 350 radius of the hookshot target. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's a little buff. Battery Assault no longer deals bonus damage against creeps. Level 10 talent, minus 2 rocket flare cooldown replaced with plus 0.4 rocket flare slow duration. Okay. Crystal Maiden, remove frozen expanses and cold comfort facets. New facets. You guys tell me if this is nerfs or buffs. Arcane Overflow. Arcane Aura can now be activated to temporarily provide Crystal Maiden with 35% spell amp, but increasing mana cost of her abilities by 50% while active. Any time Crystal Maiden uses her other abilities, ally heroes within 1200 radius receive 25% of the mana spent. Duration 10%. No mana cost, cooldown 30 seconds. The ability duration is paused during the freezing field. Can't be cast during the ultimate with Aghanim Scepter, but still has full effect. Glacial Guard Crystal Nova increases radius by 100 and grants allied heroes in the affected area 40, 70, 100, 130 physical barrier for 40 seconds. Crystal Meteor receives double the barrier, so physical damage 130. That's nice. Abilities: Blue Heart Foe now levels up with Freezing Field, and Mana Regen Amplification rescale from 50% to 25, 50, 75, 100%. Okay. Crystal Nova, slow duration decreased from 5 to 4%, so nerf. Level 10 talent, 100% Crystal Nova AoE replaced with 12 intelligence. I think that's a nerf. Dark Seer is now an intelligence hero. Base damage increased by 26. Damage at level 1 increased by 5. Damage gain per level decreased from 5 to 2.7. Damage at level 30 decreased by 75. Remove mental fortitude in ability. Quick Wit facet. Attack speed per intelligent heroes increased from 0.5 to 1. Ability: Aggrandize. New init ability. Passive: improves with Darkseer's level. When Darkseer levels up, he stores a percentage of his maximum health and mana. Resource percentage is equals to 10% plus 2% per hero level. Disabled by break. He restores. Okay. That's weak. Is now an intelligence hero, Dark Willow. Okay, base damage increased by 22. Damage at level 1 increased by 2. Agility gain increased from 1.3 to 1.6. Intelligence gain increased from 2.6 to 3.5. Damage gain per level decreased from 4.1 to 3.5. Damage at level 30 decreased by 32 from 195, 203 to 163, 171. Remove Thorny Thicket facet. New facet. Shattering Crown. Cursed Crown. While ticking, the effect accumulates 35% of any damage dealt to the target by Dark Willow and 15% of damage dealt by allied heroes. When the counter ends, the accumulated damage is dealt to each enemy, and the stunned radiance is magical damage, kind of like a Orchid Malevolence. Aghanim Shard allows the ability to deal accumulated damage when dispelled. Cursed Crown. Aghanim Shard no longer reduces stun delay by 1 second and now decreases cooldown by 1.5 seconds. Level 10 talent, minus 2 Shadow Realm cooldown replaced with plus 10 intelligence. Level 10 talent, plus 0.5 Cursed Crown. Stun duration replaced with plus 1 second Bedlam duration. Alright, moving on to Dawnbreaker. Remove Gleaming Hammer facet. Let's go with the new facets. Starbreaker, Star Surge, okay. After the final smash, all allies within 700 radius gain 9, 12, 15, 18 bonus attack speed per each Starbreaker swipe or a smash that hits an enemy hero. Dawnbreaker herself gains 15, 21, 27, 33 attack speed. Buff duration 4 seconds. And Trailblazer, Celestial Hammer. Dawnbreaker and her allied heroes gain 10, 15, 20%, 25 bonus move speed when walking on a hammer's fire trail for 1 second after leaving it. Starbreaker, Aghanim Shard move speed penalty increased from 25% to 35%. Solar Guardian, Aghanim's Scepter reworked. The Solar Guardian's pulsing aura now lingers for 3 seconds after landing and follows Dawnbreaker's around. Also increase Solar Guardian's heal per pulse by 10, 15, 20, while reducing channel airtime from 1.5, 0.8 seconds to 1.0 to 0.5 seconds. Compared to the previous one, instead of airtime being increased by 3.5 seconds, now it's decreased by 0.3 seconds. Total cast time decreased from 2.5 seconds to 1.5 seconds. Bonus evasion, early landing sub-ability, and movement mid-flight are removed. Bonus heal per pulse decreased from 15, 20, 25 to 10, 15, 20. Total healing per pulse reduced from 16, 90, 120 to 55, 85, 115. Talent. Level 10 talent. Plus 20 Starbreaker Swipe Smash replaced with plus 12 damage. Level 15 damage. Talent Luminosity Critical Strike damage decreased from 50% to 40%. Talent Starbreaker, cooldown reduction decreased from 5 seconds to 4 seconds. Dazzle! Base damage increased by 16. Damage at level 1 unchanged. Strength gain increased from 2 to 2.3. Agility gain increased from 1.4 to 1.7. Intelligence gain increased from 2.8 to 3.7. Damage gain per level decreased from 4.3 to 3.5. Damage at level 30 decreased by 35. Remove bad juju ability. Okay. Facets. Nothal Boon. Weave. Now doubles the stacks applied. Poison Bloom. Weave. Now doubles the stacks applied. Weave. Now levels with Nothal Projection. Armor change per stack rescaled from 1 to 0.5, 0.75, 1.25. Poison Touch. Cooldown decrease from 27, 23, 19, 17 seconds to 24, 21, 18, 15 seconds. The longer upgrades with Anagram and Shard. Cooldown decrease from 36, 30, 24, 18 seconds to 30, 26, 22, 18 seconds. That's on Shallow Grave. I'm sorry if I didn't say it already. Shallow Grave cooldown decrease from 36, 30, 24, 18 seconds to 30, 26, 22, 18 seconds. Okay, Shadow Wave cooldown decreased from 12 to 11, 10, 9 seconds to 10, 9, 8, 7 seconds. Aghanim Septo no longer allows to perform attacks if Dazzle is disarmed. Okay. Nothal Projection, new ultimate ability. Dazzle's soul departs his body, becoming an untargetable, invulnerable, and tree-walking spirit that can still attack, cast abilities, and use items. His mortal body can still be attacked, and there is a visible tether between it and Dazzle's soul. While in soul form, all of Dazzle's abilities are improved. Poison Touch hexes enemies. Shallow Grave heals upon expiration, and Shadow Wave has reduced cooldown. If the body is killed, Dazzle's soul perishes. When Dazzle's spirit moves further than 116 units from his body, it is tugged back towards the body with the intensity of this his body. With the intensity of this pull increasing further, Dazzle's soul travels. When the effect ends, the soul returns to its body. Cooldown 70, 60, 15 seconds. Max duration 15 seconds. Minimum duration 5 seconds. Cast range 600. Mana cost 100, 150, 200. Poison Touch hex duration 1.4, 1.6, 1.8. Shallow Grave healing 225, 300. 3.75. Shadow Wave cooldown reduction 30, 45, 60%. Dazzle can attack buildings or use Hand of Midas while in soul form. Can be upgraded with Anagram Shard. Allows to cast Nothal Projection while disarmed and provides 20% outgoing healing amplification for the duration. Level 20 talent 200 heal on Shallow Grave and replace with minus 4 seconds Shallow Grave cooldown. A little breaky break. Death Prophet is now a universal hero. Base damage decreased by 3. Base ability increased from 16 to 17. Damage at level 1 unchanged. Damage gain per level increased from 3 to 3.6. Damage at level 30 increased by 21 from 170, 160 to 171, 181. Removed suppress facet. Okay, facet. Spirit Collector. Exorcism. Hero spirit damage increased from 91, 99, 107 to 91, 109, 127. If a hero dies during exorcism, their spirit is now added to both the current exorcism and as a charge for the next one. Witchcraft abilities. Movement speed per level decreased from 0.75 to 0.5. Spell cooldown reduction per level increased from 0.5 to 0.7. Disruptor. Thunderstorm. Thunderstrike. Now procs its effect on units within the kinetic field, even if the initial target is outside of it. Kinetic Fence. Base charge restore time decreased from 2018, 16, 14 to 2017, 13, 11. buff to that one. Mana cost decreased too. Level 20 talent, kinetic fence duration replaced with +1 kinetic fence charge. Dang. Let's go triangle. Thunder Strike. Radius increased from 240 to 260. Level 10 talent, Thunder Strike damage per strike increased from 10 to 15. Level 10 talent, -3 kinetic field cooldown replaced with +20 move speed. Level 20 talent, Thunder Strike slow duration increased from 0.5 to 0.6 seconds. Doom. Gluttony. Facet. Devour base charger sword time decrease from 85 to 80 seconds. Impending Doom no longer decreases damage per second. Abilities level question pain. Bonus damage increased from 15 to 25. Infernal Blade. Base damage, burn damage or kills from 20, 30, 40, 50 to 15, 30, 45, 60. Doom. Cast range decreased from 500 to 400. Damage per second decreased from 30, 50, 70, 25, 45, 65. It's a minor inconvenience. Level 10 talent. +10. Scorched Earth damage replaced with 0.2 Infernal Blade stun duration. Okay, Fire Dragon. Reworked for Dragon Knight. While in dragon form, Dragon Tail applies to enemies in a 175 radius around the target. Worm's Wrath, attack, deal 10, 20, 30 bonus magic damage to enemies. Increase all AoE effects by 25, 50, 75, 10, 100. Okay. Okay. Bonus magic damage. Okay. Okay. Corrosive Dragon also makes all Dragon Knight's abilities deal physical damage. Damage type change to physical. Damage type change to physical. Worm's Wrath. Corrosive Breath. Damage type change to physical. Fireball. Damage type change to physical. Whoa. Is that busted? While in dragon form, attacks that apply 30-40 of the damage to targets in the attack splash AoE. Oh, wow. AoE for dragon form there? Okay, so dragon form already has attack splash. Now improves effects with Worm's Wrath, regardless of the chosen facet. Attack splash AoE decreased from 350 to 275. Bonus move speed decreased from 30, 35, 40, 45 to 20, 25, 30, 35. Fireball. Radius decreased from 350 to 275. Talents. Level 25 talent. Plus 400 AoE Dragon Tail during Elder Dragon Flow, replaced with plus 50% Worm's Wrath effect during Elder Dragon form. Drow Ranger. Vantage Point. Damage bonus from high ground increased from 20 to 30%. That's pretty nuts. Now levels with Marksmanship. Self-agility percentage bonus. Possession aura now levels with Marksmanship, excuse me. Self-agility percentage bonus rescaled from 2% per hero level to 4, 8, 12, 16, plus 1 per hero level. Talent. Level 10 talent, plus 15 frost arrow bonus damage replaced with plus 1 multi-shot arrow per wave. Level 10 talent, minus 3.5 gust cooldown replaced with gust cost no mana. Okay. Earth Spirit. Facets. Rated roll. Rolling Boulder bonus move speed is also granted to Earth Spirit when rolling over an allied hero. Boulder Smash. No longer deals bonus damage to creeps. Geomagnetic increase. Grip for damage increased from 50, 120, 200, 275 to 70, 140, 210 to 80. Just slightly buffed at max level. Level 10 talent plus 8% spell lamp replaced with plus 150 rolling boulder distance. Level 15 talent plus 110 rolling boulder damage replaced with 80 boulder smash damage. Level 15 talent plus 25% magnetized damage. And duration replaced with plus 0.3 seconds rolling bowler stun duration. Level 20 talent plus 250 rolling bowler distance replaced with 160 rolling bowler damage. Level 20 talent plus 100 boulder smash damage replaced with plus 30% magnetized damage and duration. Level 25 talent plus 0.5 seconds rolling bowler stun duration replaced with minus 3 seconds boulder smash cooldown. Ursh, Shaker, Slugger, damage, creep, Slugger facet, damage, creep death decreased from 50, 80, 110, 140 to 40, 60, 80, 100. Abilities Fisher, damage increased from 110, 160 to 10 to 60 to 110 to 170 to 30 to 90. Mana cost increased, decreased from 120, 130, 140, 150 to 120, 125, 130, 135. Mana cost increased from 45, 50, 55, 60 to 45, 55, 65, 75. Level 10 talent base damage decreased from 30 to 25. Elder Titan. Abilities Astro Spirit bonus speed. Heroes decreased from 5, 6, 7, 8% to 4, 5, 6, 7%. Level 20 talent plus 100% cleave replenished with 350 Echo Stomp Wake damage. Level 25 talent plus 450 Echo Stomp Wake damage replaced with 100% cleave. Ember Spirit. Searing Chains unit count decreased from 3 to 2. Flame Guard. Damage per second increased from 15, 25, 35, 45 to 20, 30, 40, 50. Slight buff. Magic Barrier increased from 60, 135 to 10, 285 to 60, 140, 220, 300. Slight buff. Fire Remnant. Cast point decreased from 02 to 0. Enchantress. Facets. Spellbound. Enchant attack range bonus increased from 50, 100, 150, 200 to 60, 120, 180, 240. Okay. Rabble Rouser. Bonus attack damage per Enchantress or 0 level will increase from 3% to 40 to 3% to 4%. Excuse me. Impetuous or Impetus no longer deals 2 times damage to creeps. Sproink. Mana cost increased from 50 to 60. Level 20 talent untouchable. Attack slow decreased from 65 to 60. Enigma. Base damage increased by 12. Damage at level 1 decreased by 1. Damage gain per level decreased from 5 to 3.2. Damage at level 30 decreased by 63. Event Horizon facet. Move slow reskilled from 9, 11, 13, 15% to 8, 12, 16, 20%. Buffs. Level 15 talent Maleficent instance damage increased from 40 to 50%. To 50, excuse me, not 50%. Facilist Void. Base agility increased from 19 to 21. Facets. Chronosphere and a big void, I guess. That's a joke. Mana cost decreased from 150 225, 300 to 125, 200 to 217. No longer suspends the duration of time dilation for affected units. No longer freezes enemy ability and item cooldowns. Time Zone. Let's read the big one. Mana cost decreased from 150 to 25, 300 to 125, 200 to 75. Cooldown increased from 130, 120, 110 to 130, 125, and 120. Why is it nerfed? Cast range decreased from 625 to 500. Now also suspends time dilation duration. Now also freezes enemy abilities and item cooldowns. Okay. Now accelerates ability and item cooldowns for allies. Cooldowns accelerates 4 times faster. Radius decreased from 900 to 700. Duration decreased from 550 6 seconds to 375, 425, and 4.75. No longer manipulates attack speeds. Movement speed manipulation rescaled from 50, 60, 70% to 60%. Cast range manipulation increased from 40, 50, 60% to 60%. Projectile speed manipulation rescaled from 30, 40, 50% to 40%. Level 20 talent plus 80 attack speed during time zone now affects only Faceless Void himself. Time Walk cooldown decreased from 25, 24, 18, 12, 6 seconds to 24, 16, 11 seconds, 6 seconds. Time Dilation. Recasting Time Dilation on an enemy will now add a separate stacking debuff instead of refreshing the duration of the existing debuff. Grimstroke. Stroke of Fate now displays a preview of projectile trajectory. Inkswell. Aghanim Shard no longer applies a strong dispel when Inkswell expires. Aghanim Shard no longer applies a basic dispel when Inkswell is cast. Aghanim Shard bonus damage increased from 30% to 40%, and heal increased from 30% to 40%. Gyrocopter. Base agility decreased from 26 to 25. Agility gain increased from 3.1 to 3.2. Abilities. Flat Cannon. Mana cost increased from 40, 50, 60, 70% to 50, 60, 70, 80%. Aghanim Scepter Side Gunner now has a visual model representing the Side Gunner. Be right back, guys. I'll continue reading. This is my girlfriend Lily. Hoodwinked. Base agility increased from 24 to 25. Remove tree bounce trick shot facets. Okay. Facets. Go nuts. Scurry. Active cast attack range rescaled from 100, 150, 200, 252, 75, 150, 225, 300. New facet. Hip shot. Sharpshooter has 50% reduced cooldown. Turn rate is improved by 33%. Max damage, max default duration, and max wind-up time are reduced by 25%. Okay. Mist with Wayfarers. Redirect chance rescaled from 15, 20, 25, 30% to 140, 21, 28, 35%. Let me double check that I didn't actually. Alt tab. Checking that I'm still recording, guys, because I am a little panicky. If I lose my progress, that's it. I'm crashing out. Damn, baby. I'm over here on my knees. But let's go ahead and sit down and keep reading. All right. Acorn shot bonus attack range rescaled from 75 150 225 300 to 100. Base attack damage increased from 75% to 80%. Scurry, all sources of evasion are doubled for the duration, including redirect chance from Mistwood Wayfarer. Sharpshooter, Aghanim Scepter no longer decreases max windup time. Aghanim Scepter now increases move speed slow by 20%, from 30 40 50% to 50, 60, 70%. Okay, it's a little bit of a buff. Level 10 talent, minus 2 seconds bushwhack cooldown, replaced with plus 1.5 mana regen. Level 10 talent, plus 1 second scurry duration, replaced with plus 1 scurry ability charge. Okay. Level 20 talent, plus 125 sharpshooter max damage, replaced with a sharpshooter provides vision while charging. Okay. Mm. Vision is provided along the cast indicator. Also grants true sight. Does not reveal wards. That is nuts. Husker removed bloodbath and novel transfusion facet. Uh, Cauterize. Berserker Blood can be activated, consuming 30% of the current health. Instantly applies a basic dispel on Husker. Then, after a 3-second delay, restores the consumed health and additionally heals himself 5% of his max HP for each dispelled debuff. Cooldowns 50, 40, 30, 20. Okay. Inner Fire. Cast point decreased from 0.5 to 0.35. And the talents. Level 15 talent. Burning Spear. Burn damage increased from 4 seconds to 5 seconds. Level 25 talent. Life break damage increased from 20% to 25. Excuse me. A little more water here. It's like coffee water now because I keep on refilling it with water so that the coffee doesn't run out. Okay. Is now an intelligence hero. Base health regen decreased from 0.5 to 0.25. Base damage increased by 1210. Base intelligence increased from 19 to 12. Damage at level 1 decreased by 4 to 6. Strength gain decreased from 2.6 to 2.5. Agility gain increased from 1.8 to 2, excuse me. Intelligence gain increased from 4 to 4.7. Damage gain per level decreased from 5.9 to 4.7. Damage at level 30 decreased by 46. Removed Mastermind ability. Now Invoke is classified as Invoker's only innate ability. Removed Agnostic and Elitist facets. Added 3 orb-centered facets. Each provides an extra level for the specific orb, permanently improves an ability, and sets their own Aghanim Scepter and Shard upgrades. Aghanim Scepter still provides plus 1 level to all orbs, but also provides an additional level to the orb of the chosen facet, allowing it to reach a max level of 10. Scholar of Kyrox. Oh my gosh. Okay. When Invoker reaches level 6, he gains a bonus level of Quacks without spending a skill point. Also increases its max level up to 8. Aghanim Scepter grants 1 additional current level and increases max level to 10. Cold Snap. Invoker heals for 130 health, depending on level on Quacks, whenever Cold Snap triggers. Can be upgraded with Aghanim Scepter. When Ghostwalk can be upgraded with Aghanim Scepter when cast. The effect is also applied to all allied heroes and forged spirits within 600 radius. Allies and spirits have 0.5 fade in time and 20 second duration. Ice Wall can be upgraded with Aghanim Shard. Enemy heroes that stay in the Ice Wall for longer than 3 seconds freeze, becoming rooted for 1.5 seconds and taking 300 magic damage. Also increases the wall's radial thickness by 40 and length by 160. Alright, Mind of Tornaris. Wex. When invoke, okay, so same with the little orb levels, but with Wex. Alacrity grants bonus 50, 140 attack range, depending on the level of Wex. When cast on Invoker, any range units under his control. Tornado can be upgraded with Aghanim Scepter. Creates smaller twisters along its path every 300 units. Each twister lasts for the tornado duration of tornado and persists for 4 additional seconds after tornado is destroyed, dealing 120 damage per second in a 150 radius. Twisters have a ground vision of a 50 in a radius around them, damage interval of 0.25 seconds, damage from multiple twisters stack. Twisters deal half damage to creeps. EMP can now be upgraded with Aghanim Shard, increases burn damage from 60% to 90%, and pulls units to its center at 150 units per second. Exhort. Agents of Galeron. Okay, Exhort gains the same level up properties, and Chaos Meteor increases Meteor's radius by 30 and travel distance by 200. Sunstrike now, Aghanim Scepter grants Cataclysm, exclusively with that facet. Cooldown decreases from 100 to 60. Min-max distance decreased from 160, 200 to 90, 80. Sunstrike damage decreased from 100% to 75%. Can be upgraded with Aghanim Shard. Causes Sunstrike to summon the current level of Force Spirit at the location when damaging a real enemy hero. Quas. Each active... okay, this goes for Quas West and Exhort. Oh, the level... The level details are repeated here. Cold Slap no longer heals Invoker when dealing damage by default. Added values for level 9 and 10. Duration for levels 9 and 10 of Quas is 6.2, 6.6. Freezing Field cooldowns for level 9 and 10 in Quas is 0.56, 0.53 seconds. Freezing damage for levels 9 and 10 of Quas is 68/72. Tornado. Added values for level 9 and 10. Travel distance for level 9 and 10 Wex is 3,900, 4,200. Lift time for levels 9 and 10 of Quax is Wex 2.8, 3 seconds. Damage per for levels 9 and 10 of Wex is 405, 45. EMP added mana burn values for level 9 and 10 of Wex 700, 775. Alacrity added values for level 9 and 10. Bonus attack speed for levels 9 and 10 of Wex is 106, 118. Bonus damage for levels 9 and 10 of X-Sword is 106, 118. Added values for levels 9 and 10 on Chaos Meteor. Travel distance for level 9 and 10 of Wex is 1925, 1819. Contact damage for levels 9 and 10 of X-Sword is 235, 250. Burn damage per second for level 9 and 10 of X-Sword is 50, 55. Sunstrike. Added damage values for level 9 and 10 of X-Sword 600 and 650. Forge Spirit. The spirit's count is changed from 1112222333. These values are true for both Quas and X-Swords, but the ability will use 1 with the lowest level. Forge Spirit's base mana decreased from 5 to 0. Duration rescaled from 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 seconds to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 seconds. Damage rescaled from 22, 32, 42, 52, 62, 72, 82, 92 to 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, and 110. Damage values for levels 9 and 10. Mana for levels 9 and 10 of X-Sword is 500, 550. Armors for level 9 and 10 of X-Sword is 8 and 9. Attack range for levels 9 and 10 of Quas is 820, 8 and 85. Health for levels 9 and 10 of Quas is 1100, 120. Melting Strike armor reduction per stack for levels 9 and 10 of X-Sword is 1.6, 1.7. Ice Wall. A flat AoE bonus like those granted by Gleipnir no longer increase radial thickness of the wall, but instead increase the length of the entire wall. Duration rescaled from 3, 4.7, 7.5, 9, 10.5, 12 seconds to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 seconds. Added move speed slow values for level 9 and 10 of Quacks. 180, 200%. Damage per second increased from 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48 to 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72. Now you got 80 and we're all through, baby. Deafening Blast. Damage increased from 60, 100, 140, 180, 220, 260, 300, 340 to 70. 110, 150, 190, 230, 270, 310, 35, 390, 430. Okay. Knockback duration increased from 02, 04, 06, 08, 1 second, 1.2 seconds, 1.4 seconds, 1.6 seconds to 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, 1.9, 1.9 and 2 seconds. Disarm duration rescaled from 1.25, 2 seconds, 2.75, 3.5, 4.25, 5, 5.2075, 6 seconds to 1.5, 2 seconds, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5 seconds, 5.5, 6 seconds. Okay, level 5, 15 talent plus 1 Forge Spirit replaced with -4 Sunstrike cooldown. Level 25 talent. 2 times Quaswex Exhort active bonuses is now set for all facets. Okay, IO. Base damage increased by 7. Base damage at level 1 increased by 4. Strength gain increased from 2.7 to 3 to a flat 3. Damage gain per level increased from 42 to 2.8. Damage at level 30 increased by Damage at level 30 decreased by 46. Okay, abilities. Tether. Upon casting Tether, Io now has buff that shows Tether's remaining cooldown. This buff is only visible to Io and Io's allies. Enemy move attack slow increases from 10, 20, 30, 40 to 15, 30, 45, 60. No longer deals 15, 25, 35, 40 damage per second to enemies by default. Now upgrades with Aghanim Shard. Deals 120 damage per second to enemies touching it. Uh, 50% of damage dealt heals Io. This is considered a pseudo lifesteal. No longer upgrades with Aghanim's Shard. Level 10 talent plus 15% tether. Enemy slow replaced with plus 1.5 overcharge duration. Level 25 talent plus 145 health to tethered units replaced with unslowable during overcharge. That's pretty cool. Jakiro removed Liquid Fire and Liquid Frost facets. Both Liquid Fire and Liquid Frost abilities are now available to the hero at the same time. They have a shared level and cooldown. Now always attacks with his ice head first, then Liquid Fire head, then his fire head. The cooler head prevailed. This results in swapping special attacks. Liquid Frost is always applied with the first attack. Liquid Fire with the second, whenever applicable. Facets. Twin Terror. Double Trouble. Damage penalty is decreased from 50% to 40%. Improves even further by 5% per macropyro level. Icebreaker. Ice path duration increased from 3.5 6-second ice path at level 1 with this facet. Upon expiring, ice path detonates and deals an additional damage. 75, 125, 175, 225 damage and stunning enemies for 0.5 seconds a second time. While the path exists, ability is replaced with a sub-ability, which allows Jakiro to detonate his ice path early. Liquid Fire. Aghanim Shard reworked makes Liquid Fire and Liquid Frost abilities not share cooldowns. Aghanim Shard reworked makes Liquid Fire. Yep. Level 25 talent grants Liquid Fire. Frost replaced with plus 2.5% Liquid Fire and Frost max health damage. Juggernaut. Abilities. Omni Slash cast range increased from 350 to 450. That's good. Swift Flash cooldown increased from 20 to 25 seconds. Talents. Level 10 talents healing ward cooldown reduction increased from 10 seconds to 12 seconds. Level 20 talents plus 50% Blade Dance Lifesteal replaced with 2 healing ward hits to kill. Level 25 talent plus 2 healing ward hits to kill replaced with 50% Blade Dance Lifesteal. Keeper of the Light. Intelligence gain increased from 3.2 to 3.3. Removed mana magnifier init ability. Abilities. Special Reserve. New init ability. Passive. Can't be leveled up. Keeper of the Life cannot go below 75 mana. Blinding Light cooldown. Cooldown decreased from 25, 22, 19, 16 seconds to 24, 21, 18, 15 seconds. Miss chance increased from 40% to 45. Spirit form. Movement speed bonus decreased from 15, 20, 25% to 10, 15, 20%. Kez. Base armor decreased by 1. Base agility increased by from 26 to 27. Base move speed decreased from 320 to 315. Removed hero of the flightless facet. Facets. Flutter. Switch disciplines. Kez deals 12% more damage on the first attack or ability after switching to Katana and gains 12% bonus move speed for 2 seconds after switching to Sai. Shadow Walk. Triggers a Shoto Sai mark for the from invisibility, deals 50% more critical damage. When cast triggers a Shoto Sai mark, reduces the cooldown of both Shoto Sai and Kazurai Katana by 20, 30, 40, 15%. Abilities. Switch discipline. Katana bonus damage decreased from 20% to 12. Grappling Claw no longer grants flat bonus hero lifesteal. Lifesteal on attack rescaled from 100% to 50, 75, 100 to 125. Kazurai Katana Aghanim Shard cast range increased from 150 to 200. And cooldown increased from 5 seconds to 20, 15, 10, 5 seconds. Raptor Dance now follows global lifesteal rules. As a result, gained creep penalty. No longer provides debuff immunity and hard dispel. Got an intro. She's a cutie patootie. Her name is Nieves, and she's a cutie patootie. Off you go. Okay, where was I? No longer provides debuff immunity and a hard dispel. Now provides a basic dispel and 0.1 seconds invulnerability period on cast, and complete magic damage immunity for the duration. Falcon Rush can now change targets while rushing. Rush range decreased from 575 to 525. Side base attack rate increased from 1.2, 1.1, 1.0, 1.9 seconds to 1.3, 1.2, 1.11 second. Katana base attack range increased from 1.4, 1.3, 1.2, 1.1 to 1.5, 1.4, 1.3, 1.2. Attack speed factor increased from 6, 7, 8, 9% to 6, 8, 10, 12%. Talent Toss now deals physical damage. Shoto Sai no longer slows marked targets. Aghanim Shard no longer grants bonus move speed. Excuse me. Captain Kunkka. Level 10 talents plus 25 X marks the spot move speed replaced with minus 15 seconds Admiral's Run cooldown. Level 15 talent Tidebringer damage increased from 60 to 70. Level 15 talent Torrent damage knockout duration increased from 20% to 25%. Here she is again, guys. She just won't stop bothering me. And Tidebringer cleave damage increased from 100% to 120. Base damage increased from 23. Okay, for Legion Commander. Base damage strength increased. Base strength increased from 23 to 24. Spoils of War. Now, if Legion Commander wins, also automatically press the attack on her and all assisting allies. Overwhelming odds. Mana cost rescaled from 100, 110, 120, 130 to 90, 105, 120, 135. Slight nerf. Moment of Courage now follows Global Lifesteal rules. Okay. No longer cast Press the Attack on Victory by default. Cast range decreased from 200, 250, 300 to 200. Duration rescaled from 375, 45, 4.25 to 4.55 seconds. Aghanim Scepter duration bonus decreased from 2.25 to 2 seconds. Total Scepter duration is just decreased to 7 seconds at max level. Aghanim Scepter debuff immunity now has more prominent visual effects. Aghanim Shard bonus damage per win decreased from 8 to 5. Leshrac Facet. Chronoptic Nourishment. Damage as mana restore increased from 10-14-18-22 to 10-18-26-34. Big buff. Defilement. AoE per intelligence increased from 0.4 to 0.7. Level 15 talent plus 10 move speed during Pulse Nova replaced with plus 10 damage reduction during Pulse Nova. I'm losing my voice. It's all my water and coffee. Level 20 talent plus 20% damage reduction during Pulse Nova replaced with Diabolic Edict hits an additional target. Lich. Cast Frost range decreased from 1000 to 800. Duration decreased from 5678 to 4567. Sinister Gaze. Mana cost decreased from 50, 60, 70% to 25. Mana drain per second increased from 12% to 15%. No longer deals damage to creeps. Now requires Aghanim Scepter to cast other abilities during channeling. Chain Frost. Bounce distance between decreased from 600 to 550. Ice Spire. Now the Spire is damaged by 1 hero attack damage every time the Chain Frost orb bounces off of it. Effect radius decreased from 750 to 550. I'm trying to keep her off of the cables over here. Maybe I don't want her to like unplug my things. Level 25 talent Chain Frost, unlimited bounces replaced with plus 100 Chain Frost incremental damage. That's going to be nuts, but somebody already pretty much dies every time Lich presses R. Lifestealer. Base move speed decreased from 320 to 315. Removed rage and unfettered facets. Flesh Feast. Flesh Feast has a little heart. Max HP Feast. Max HP per hero kill increased from 15 to 25, 35, 45, 55, depending on the current level of Infest. Open Wounds cooldown is reset if a hero dies while afflicted by open wounds. And it allows the ability to be used on an ancient creep. And okay, Gore Storm. Consuming creep drenches affected enemies in blood for 3 seconds. Drenched enemies take damage equal to 25% of host's remaining health over the duration. When cast with Aghanim Scepter, Gore Storm damages is equal to 25% of damage done to the hosted enemy hero by a lifestealer over the duration. Feast. Max health gained now added to post-game screen. Okay. Infest. No longer tie against ancient creeps. I'm going to grab her again here. Nope. You're going to stay here. Kitty weedy. Can no longer target ancient creeps by default. Infested creeps now lose 2, 1, 0% of their max HP each second. Okay, so a timer on Infest. Level 10 talents. Plus 150 Infest damage replaced with plus 4 all stats. Lina. Fiery Soul move speed per stack decreased from 1.5 to 2.53% to 1.5 to 2.5%. No longer upgrades with Aghanim Shard. Now upgrades with Aghanim Shard, Laguna Blade, there we go. 75% of the damage dealt is converted to an all damage barrier for Lina. Barrier lasts for 10 seconds. Flame Cloak, duration decreased from 8 seconds to 7 seconds. Cool. Level 10 talents, Dragon Slave, cooldown reduction decreased from 3.5 to 3 seconds. Level 20 Laguna Blade cooldown reduction decreased from 25 to 20 seconds. Level 25 talent, 125% Laguna Blade damage into barrier replaced with plus 60% combustion overheat damage. Lion. No longer instantly kills enemy illusions. Alright, mana drain. Level 10 talent plus 65 earth spike damage replaced with plus 20 move speed. Level 15 talent plus 70 max health per fighter of death kill replaced with what was it replaced with 15% hell and back debuff spell amp. Lone Druid is now an agility hero. Base damage increased by 17. Base strength decreased from 20 to 18. Damage at level 1 unchanged, 38.42. Strength gain increased from 1.8 to 2.5. Agility gain increased from 2.8 to 2.0 to 2.8. Intelligence gain increased from 2.0 to 1.4. Intelligence gains decreased from 2.0 to 1.4. Damage gain per level decreased from 4.1 to 2.8. Damage at level 30 decreased by 52 from 185, 189 to 133, 137. Removed unbearable facet. It's facet's name, not the description. Alright. Bare necessity. Stat bonus increased from 30, 45, 60, 75% to 45, 55, 65, 75%. Gift bearer. Reworked. Lord Druid's Spirit Bearer receives a copy of his neutral item. This copy has an independent cooldown of the main one. Spirit Link now follows global lifesteal rules. As a result, gain 40% creep penalty. Okay, Luna. Moon Shield. Lunar Orbit. Damage reduction increased from 10, 15, 20, 25 to 15, 20, 25, 30%. Lunar Orbit collision damage increased from 20, 25, 30, 35 to 20, 28, 34, 40%. Collision radius increased from 150 to 175. Improved glaive collision behavior before orbiting glaives. Aghanim shard collision damage bonus increased from 15% to 20%. Total collision damage with a shard increased 60%. There we go. Lycan is now a strength hero. Base damage increased by 20. Damage at level 1 unchanged. Strength gain increased from 3 to 4. From 3 to 4. I'm sorry. Agility gain decreased from 1.8 to 1.7. Increased gain, intelligence gain increased from 1.2 to 1.7. I wish I had more intelligence gain. Damage gain per level decreased from 4.2 to 3.4. Damage at level 3 decreased by 40 from 202 to 207 to 162, 170 to 167. Facet. Alpha Wolves. Hightail duration decreased from 8 seconds to 6. Summon Wolves. Magic resistance rescaled from 40, 50, 60, 70 to 45, 50, 55, 60%. They tone it down a notch. Magnus. New facets over here, huh? Base damage increased by 21. Damage at level 1 increased by 7. Intelligence gain increased from 1.6 to 2.1. Damage gain per level decreased from 4.7 to 3.2. Damage at level 30 decreased by 46 from 214 to 168, 176. Remove reverse polarity and reverse polarity facets. Okay. Increases, okay, new facet. Diminishing return. Increases the max level of shockwave to 5. Number of times plus 2. All attributes can be skilled. Decreased from 7 to 6. Shockwave. Level 5 makes the shockwave return once it reaches its max distance, traveling 200 units further and dealing 50% of ability damage on its way back. New facet. Internal empowerment. Ability is always enabled on Magnus. Every one of his subsequent attacks increases his self bonus by 2, 3, 4, 5%. Up to a max of 10, 15, 20, 25%. Duration 10 seconds. Each stack refreshes the duration. Bonus per hit and max bonus skill with the level of Empower. Shockwave. No longer upgrade with Aghanim Shard. Effect move to a new facet. Mana cost increased from 75 to 85, 90, 95, 100. Skewer now deals 6, 9, 12, 15% of the distance traveled as damage. No longer deals damage per tree cliff hit by default. Now upgraded with Aghanim Shard. Increases skewer range by 275 and deals additional 30 damage per tree hit and 125 per cliff hit. Level 10 talent plus 0.75 shockwave slow duration replace with plus 1.25 skewer slow duration. Level 10 talent plus 10 seconds and power duration replaced with plus 1.5 mana regeneration. Marcy, base damage increased by 2220. Damage at level 1 increased by 6 to 4. Intelligence gain increased from 1.5 to 1.9. Damage gain levels increased from 4.4 to 3 seconds. Damage at level 30 decreased by 4.4, 46. Hey, guess who brought me more coffee? Awesomeness. My girlfriend brought me some more coffee. I am a happy boy again. Now I'm charged up for the rest of this reading session. I think we got it like a fourth left here. A third left, maybe. Oh, alright. Marcy. Intelligence gained increased from 1.5 to 1.9. Damage gain per level decreased from 4.4 to 3 flat. Damage at 30 decreased by 44 to 46. Remove sidekick and bodyguard facets. Alright, facets. Buddy system. Bodyguard. Well, bodyguard did Marcy and her partner share 100% of health healed by this ability with each other. Alright. Pick me up. Rebound adds an alt cast, which allows Marcy to bring the target ally with her to the final destination. The ally deals 25% of the rebound damage to the enemies on landing. Won't affect rooted or leashed allies. If Marcy has unleashed leveled after landing from rebound, Marcy gains a short fury combo. If unleash is already active, its duration instead is extended by 3 seconds. This combo has 3 hits instead of 5, and Aghanim Scepter doesn't apply silence to it. Alright, ability. Special Delivery now has an active component. Marcy whistles and instantly teleports her courier to her. 240, cast point 1. Wow. Rebound. Mana cost increased from 70, 80, 90, 100 to 75, 90, 105, 120. Ally bonus move speed decreased from 25, 30, 35, 40% to 15, 20, 25, 30. Aghanim Shard no longer decreases cooldown. Aghanim Shard now increases damage by 20% from 80, 160, 240, 320 to 96, 192, 288, 384. Bodyguard no longer provides bonus armor, and now provides the selected ally with 75% of lifesteal and damage bonus. Level 10 talent, plus 100 rebound, cast jump range replaced with 75 rebound landing radius. Level 10 talent, plus 10 psychic bodyguard lifesteal replaced with plus 1.5 dispose slow duration. Alright. Mars. Victory Feast. Arena of Blood now provides 50% of all bonuses to all allies that are in the arena when enemies die inside of it. And abilities. Dauntless. Now affected only Mars himself. Radius decreased from 2000 to 900. HP regen per extra enemy increased from 30% to 50%. Excuse me. Better drink some more. Level 10 talent. 10, plus 10, 5% bulwark front side damage reduction replaced with 10% damage dauntless regen per enemy. New facet for Medusa. Ondulation. Base move speed increased from 275 to 310. Medusa's move speed is fixed and is unaffected by most effects. Split Shot. Now upgrades with Aghanim Scepter. Allows on-hit effects to apply to the secondary attacks from Split Shot and increase target's count by 1. Mystic Snake no longer upgrades with Aghanim Scepter. Cold-blooded. The single target Mystic Snake now always turns the enemy into stone for 1 second. Level 10 talent plus 40 Mystic Snake damage replaced with plus 20% Gorgon's Grasp radius. Level 25 talent split shot uses modifiers replaced with plus 40 intelligence. Okay. Facets. More Meepo. Now, number of times plus 2 all attributes can be skilled, decreased from 7 to 6. Is that a nerf? Codependent. Divided we stand. All Meepos have a stackable aura that increase nearby Meepos' attack speed by 7% and armor by 2. Radius 600. So they just gain a buff when they're all together now. Sticky Fingers. Updated to the new neutral crafting system. Increases selection of artifacts and enchantments from 4 to 5. Mirana is now an agility hero. Base damage increased from 24 to 26. Base strength increased from 18 to 25. Damage at level 1 increased by 4 to 5. From 44 to 48. She's going to get sick of going down there eventually. Strength gain increased from 1.9 to 22. Agility gain increased from 2.5 to 3.1. Intelligence gain increased from 1.4 1.9 to 1.9. Damage gain per level decreased from 4.1 to 3.1. Damage at level 30 decreased by 40, 38. Remove Moonlight Shadow and Solar Filler facets. Moonlight Shadow remains as Mirana's default ultimate. Alright. Facets. Starstruck. Starstorm's second meteor deals more damage and blinds the target. Second meteor damage 100%, blind miss rate 60%, blind duration 3.5, 4.55 seconds. That's going to be pretty strong. Leaps and bounds. Upon landing, Leap roots its targets in a 250 radius around Mirana for 1.1, 1.4, and 1.7 2-second cooldown. Abilities. Salamaine's Faithful, Healing Lotus effectiveness increased from 20% to 50%. Star Storm, second meteor damage decreased from 80% to 60%. Leap movement bonus decreased from 8, 16, 24, 32 to 6, 12, 18, 24%. Aghanim Shard reworked. No longer increases distance. No longer creates damaging wave. Now grants +1 leap charge. Attacks during the leap buff critical strike for 150 damage. 150% damage. Moonlight Shadow now also increases Mirana's outgoing damage by 9, 12, 50% for the duration. Level 10 talent plus -2 Sacred Arrow cooldown replaced with -2 Starstorm cooldown. Level 20 talent plus 20% critical strike. 200% replaced with 35 base damage. Monkey King. New facet reworked. Simian Stride. Increased the max number of level of tree dance to 5. Number of times to +2. All attributes can be skilled. Decreased from 7 to 6. Level 5 reduced tree dance cooldown to 0. Mischief. Now scales with Wukong's command. Its cooldown rescaled from 15 seconds to 24, 20, 26 to 12. Bonus move speed rescaled from 10 seconds to 6, 9, 12, 15%. Jingu Mastery now follows global lifesteal rules. Level 10 talent. 0.2 Boundless Strike on duration replacement. +10 damage. Morphling removed Adaptive Strive Strength ability as it's merged with an Agility one. Facets. EBB. Ebb. Waveform. Now attacks all targets it goes through with 50% of Morphling's attack damage. Does not apply on hit effects. Adaptive Strike. No longer knocks back enemies. Move to space spell. Okay. Flow. Changes Morphling's primary attribute to strength. Morphling gains 1% spell amp per 4 agility. And spell amplification effect is breakable. Adaptive Strike stuns enemy for 0.5 to 2.4 seconds depending on Morphling strength. Has the same rules as knockback effect. Accumulation. No longer grants 100% bonus stats from the talent tree's all attributes bonus. Now talent trees. All attribute bonus provides an additional 3 seconds to Morphlee's primary attribute. Waveform no longer attacks enemies by default. Adaptive Strike merge both abilities into one. Now knocks back enemies by default. Distance is between 350 units based on Morphling strength. Maximum effect is reached when Morphling strength is 50% higher on his agility. No longer stuns enemies by default. Cooldown decreased from 19, 16, 13, 10 seconds to 17, 14, 11, 8 seconds. Attribute shift agility gain. Mana cost rescaled from 5, 10, 15, 10 to just 10. Attribute shift strength gain. Mana cost rescaled from 5, 10, 15, 20 to just 10. Morph now keeps his attributes while morphed. Level 10 talents. Plus 250 waveform range replaced with plus 12 seconds morph duration. Level 15 talent plus 15 agility replaced with plus 75 attack range. Level 15 talent plus 16 morph duration replaced with plus 250 waveform range. Plus 20 talent plus 1 second adaptive strike stun duration replaced with 20 agility. Level 20 talent plus 75% waveform attack damage and applies hits on effects replaced with 3 seconds adaptive strike cooldown. Okay, muerta, because I say that her base intelligence decreased from 24 to 23. Ouch. Intelligence gain from 3.3 to 3.4. Removed parting shot ability. Deadshot now upgrades with Aghanim Scepter, increases damage by 25. Deadshot AoE expands after it ricochets and pierces through enemy heroes as it fears them. Secondary shot now prioritizes heroes, then non-hero units, then buildings. Secondary shot chance decreased from 26, 34, 42, 50% chance to 18, 26, 36, 45% chance. Level 10 Deadshot cast range decreased from 350 to 300. Level 10 talent 1.5% max HP regen while inside the calling replaced with 150 health. Level 15 talent plus 80 Deadshot damage replaced with plus 3% max HP regen while inside the calling. Naga Siren Eel Skin bonus evasion per other Naga increased from 6 to 8%. Level 10 talent minus 2 ensnare cooldown replaced with 100 plus 100 real impulse speed. Nature's Prophet is now a universal hero. Base damage increased by 2. Damage at level 1 unchanged. Damage gain per level increased from 3.5 to 4.2. Damage at level 30 increased by 25. Facets. Soothing Saplings allied tangos provide double the heal duration when consuming the tree created by sprouts, similar to when targeting Iron Branch trees. Ironwood Treant, Spirit of the Forest, Treant multiplier rescaled from times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5, times 6, 2 times 4. Spirit of the Forest now scales with Wrath of Nature instead of Nature's Call. Bonus damage per tree rescaled from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 4%. Radius increased from 3 to 3, 4, 5, 600. Necrophos, Facet, Rapid Decay. Ghost Shroud now also makes enemies have their restoration and manipulation decreased by the same value as Necrophos' gain. Abilities Ghost Shroud, Restoration, and Implication now applies to Lifesteal and Spell Lifesteal. Heartstopper Aurea Radius decreased from 800 to 700. Health Decay rescaled from 0.6, 1.2, 1.8, 2.4% to 0.8, 1.3, 1.8, 2.3%. Night Stalker, remove Blinding Void Facet. Night Rain Facet changes Roshan's first move to the top pit to be at 20 minutes instead of 15 minutes. Hunter in the Night is now granted for free on level 1. Level is increased to 5. Move speed rescaled from 2, 2, 8, 3, 4, 40% to 16, 20, 28, 34, 40%. Attack speed rescaled from 20, 40, 60, 80 to 15, 35, 55, 75, 95. Okay. Voidbringer increases the max level of Void to 5. Number of times plus 2. All attributes can be skilled, decreased from 7 to 6. Void's level 5 deals 400 damage, has 4 night vision, has 4-second night duration, and becomes a point target ability with 300 AoE during the night. No longer reduces vision. Night duration decreased from 2.53, 3.54 seconds to 2.53, 3.5 seconds. Talents. Level 10 talents plus 80 void damage replaced with minus 1 second void cooldown. Level 15 talent Hunter in the Night status resistance decreased from plus 35% to 30%. Level 25 talent Dark Ascension cooldown decreased from 50 seconds to 40 seconds. Base damage increased by 14. Damage at level 1 unchanged. Strength gain increases from 2.5 to 2.7. Agility gain increased from 2.5 to 2.6. Damage gain per level decreased from 5.1 to 3.7. Damage at level 30 decreased by 52. New facet reworked. Mind Flare burns 16, 19, 22, 25% of the mana's target's max mana. Impale cooldown decreased from 18, 16, 14, 12 seconds to 17, 15, 13, 11 seconds. Mana cost decreased from 100, 110, 120, 130 to 90, 100, 110, 120. Mind Flare no longer instantly kills creeps. That's good. Max mana as damage increased from 20, 25, 30, 35% to 25, 35, 35%, 40%. Bonus damage decreased from 25 to 30%. Level 10 talent plus 40 vendetta damage replaced with plus 25 spike carapace damage reflect. Level 15 talent plus 0.5 spike carapace reflect duration to replace with plus 15 vendetta damage. Bloodlust. Bonus move speed decreased from 7, 9, 11, 13% to 6, 8, 10, 12%. Level 10 talent and active PS decreased from 15 to 12% to 12. Level 25 talent fire blast damage decreased from 240 to 220. Guardian Omni Knight, Guardian Angel, Aghanim Scepter HP regen heal amp increased from 100% to 150. Level 15 talent repel strength HP regen per debuff is increased by 3 to 5. Intelligence gain Oracle intelligence gain decreased from 3.8 to 3.6. Facets clairvoyant curse spell and precision per level increased from 8.75% to 1%. Aghanim Scepter bonus spell damage increased from 25% to 30% on False Promise. Level 15 talent first chins ends heals and damages per hero effect. The spell a spell increased 60 to 80%. Okay, and moving on to Outworld Destroyer. Obsidian Decimator, Essence Flux, max mana increased on proc, increased from 4% to 5%. Level 10 talent, plus 200 health replaced with plus 100 astral imprisonment cast range. Level 15 talent current mana as move speed decreased from 1.5% to 1%. Level 15 talent plus 1.25% astral imprisonment cast range replaced with 8% astral imprisonment mana capacity steal. Level 20 talent plus 20% spell lifesteal replaced with 450 health. Pangolier, base damage increased by 20. Damage at level 1 increased by 6. Agility gain increased from 2.8 to 3.2. Damage gain per level decreased from plus 5.4 to 3.6. Damage at level 30 decreased by 54. Level 15 talent plus 2 seconds rolling thunder duration replaced with 15% attack damage as swashbuckle damage. Level 20 talent plus 15% attack damage as swashbuckle damage replaced with plus 2 seconds rolling thunder duration. Level 25 talent rolling thunder cooldown reduction decreased from 16 to 15. Level 25 talent swashbuckle cooldown increased from 3 to 4 seconds. Phantom Assassin, remove the Veiled One facet. Methodical. Coup de Grace. Critical damage decreased from 325, 450, 575 to 300, 400, 500% damage. Sweet Release. Stifling Dagger. Whenever a dagger hits and does not kill an enemy, it leaves a stacking debuff that lasts for 6 seconds. When the debuff unit dies, they launch one Stifling Dagger per stack at random enemies around the target, prioritizing heroes. These daggers have 50% damage and slow duration values. Stacks can't be dispelled, and each new dagger refreshes the duration of all current stacks. Recast range equals Stifling Dagger cast range centered around the debuff enemy. Abilities. Immaterial. Bonus evasion per level decreased from 1.5 to 1%. Movement. Slow duration decreased from 2.2, 2.8, 3.44 seconds to 2.1, 2.4, 2.7, 3 seconds. Blur. Now isn't removed on attack by default. Coup de Grace. Critical damage decreased from 200, 325, 450% to 200, 300, 400%. Fan of Knives cooldown increased from 15 to 20 per seconds. Mana cost increased from 50 to 80. Talents. Level 10 talent Stifling Dagger cooldown reduction increased from 2 seconds to 1.5 seconds. Level 15 talent plus 200 Phantom Strike cast range replaced with 15% Stifling Dagger damage. Level 20 talent plus 20% Stifling Dagger damage replaced with plus 200 Phantom Strike cast range. Phantom Lancer base strength increased from 19 to 21. Removed Convergence facet. New facet. Lancelot. Spirit Lance copies of Spirit Lance created by Phantom Lancer illusions deal 25% of abilities damage. Lance copies don't deal any damage that the enemy. Any damage to the enemy, they bounce on with the Aghanim Scepter. Abilities. Spirit Lance, Aghanim Scepter, bounce count decreased from 2 to 1. Aghanim Scepter, illusion damage increased from 20% to 30%. Illusion damage taken decreased from 625% to 600% flat. Level 10 talent plus 35 Spirit Lance damage replaced with 1.25 Spirit Lance slow duration. Level 25 talent illusory arrangements damage increased from 15% to 20%. Gotcha. Phoenix is now a strength hero. Base damage increased by 12. Damage at level 1 unchanged. Damage gained per level decreased 4.6 to 3.3. Damage at level 30 increased by 54 from 207 to 17 to 153, 163. Facets. Hotspot. Sunray now also applies 2 times blinding sun attacks to targets near the end of the beam. Level 10 talent plus 20 Icarus dive damage replaced with plus 0.5 blinding sun mischance. Primal Beast, remove romp and stomp facet. New facet, provoke the beast. In addition to stacks from hero damage, Primal Beast also gains 2 uproar stacks upon being stunned, hex, taunted, feared, or rooted. Ferocity, pulverize. AoE bonus now granted at the start of each slam instead of at the end. Bonus AoE per hit increased 20% to 25. Okay. Bonus AoE duration increased from 10 seconds to 20 seconds. Onslaught knockback. Radius and distance are no longer affected by AoE increase. No longer passively grants base damage. Upward slow per stack rescaled from 5, 6, 7, 8% to 4, 6, 8, and 10%. Level 10 talents plus 80 on spot damage replaced with plus 20 damage. Puck. Abilities. Puckish. Base health restored decreased from 15 to 10. Base mana restored decreased from 15 to 10. Dream Coil. Mana cost increased from 10, 150, 200 to 125, 135, 225. Talents. Level 15 talent Dream Coil cooldown reduction increased from 10 to 15. Level 25 talent Waning Rift radius. Max distance increased from 300 to 350. Pudge. Remove Flare's Hook facet. Removed eject ability. Add rework to Aghanim's Shard. Facets: fresh meat, dismember, strength increase from 135 to 246. Rotten core. While rot is active, punch gains 2, 8, 12, 16 bonus attack damage every seconds, up to 20, 40, 60, 80% max bonus attack damage after 5 seconds. Once rot is deactivated, the damage penalty rapidly decays over 1 second. Meat Hook, now upgraded with Aghanim Shard. When Meat Hook hits an enemy, it deals 20% of the pulled distance as bonus damage. When Meat Hook hits an ally, Meat Hook's cooldown is reduced by 50%. Dismember, no longer upgraded with Aghanim Shard. Okay. Pugna, no longer instantly kills enemy illusions. No longer restores mana. Ally drain heal per second increased from 120 to 10, 300 to 150, 250, 350. Level 25 talent nether ward damage per mana increased from 1.75 to 1.9. Level 25 talent nether blast damage increased from 160 to 180. Queen of Pain, facets, masochists, outgoing spell damage reflected increased from 21 to 27. Bondage, now is a facet that improves Succubus. Succubus now also makes lifesteal apply reflected magical and pure damage. Succubus is now an innate ability, now also makes all sources of spell lifesteal apply to pure damage. Spell lifesteal decreased from 18% to 14%. Shadow Strike, initial damage increased from 30, 60, 90, 120 to 50, 80, 110, 140. Aghanim Scepter no longer increases initial magic damage by 50. Razor, static link. Aghanim Shard no longer pulls Razor and his targets closer together. Instead, slows the target movement speed by 1 times the amount of damage stolen while the link is active. Strike damage is now classified as reflection damage. Level 10 talent plus 30 plasma field damage replaced with plus 0.5 second plasma field slow duration. Ricky. Facets: contracted killer. Backstab hero 6 XP reskilled from 25, 100, 100, 100 to 25, 75, 125, 175. Ricky also gets 25, 75, 125, 125 bonus experience for courier and ward kills. Exterminator, Tricks of the Trades. When Ricky kills a non-hero unit during Tricks of the Trade, the cooldown is reduced by 0.75 seconds. Ability, Smokescreen no longer buffs allies. Used to provide an evasion bonus against attacks from enemies that stand outside of the smoke cloud. Yep. Level 25 talent, minus 3 seconds Tricks of the Trade cooldown replaced with minus 1 seconds Cloak and Dagger Fade delay. Is that really that strong? Ringmaster, added to Captain's mode, removed center stage facet. Let's go. Carney Classic, Dark Carnival Barker, sets Dark Carnival souvenirs to Funhouse Mirror, Strong Tonic, and Whoopee Cushion. Okay. Made exclusive to Carney Classic facets. Okay. And and Sideshow Secrets is Dark Carnival Barker, sets Dark Carnival souvenirs to Crystal Ball, Unicycle, and Weighted Pie. Scans a targeted 450 area for 4 seconds. Indicates whether there are enemy heroes in that area for the duration. Reveals invisible enemy units and wards in the scanned area but does not provide vision. The revealed effects linger for 1 second. Global cast range. Unicycle. After a 0.5 second preparation, Ringmaster mounts a speedy unicycle to ride around for 10 seconds, crashing into trees, destroys them, and slows the unicycle. Attacking using abilities, taking damage, picking up runes, or crashing into units and other obstacles dismounts the rider. Weighted Pie. Tosses a pie into a target enemy, knocking them back and reducing their vision to 50. Vision recovers over 2 seconds, and the target's allies won't provide their vision for them over the duration. The pie instantly kills any non-ancient creep. Rubik, Frugal Flitch. Frugal Flitch, Spell Steal, stolen mana cost reduction increased from 40, 50, 60 to 50, 65, 80%. Level 10 talent plus 12% favorable damage reduction replaced with plus 0.25 might and magus damage resistance. Damage and resistance. Okay. Level 15 talent telekinesis lifts on duration increased from 0.4 seconds to 0.5. Level 20 talent telekinesis cooldown increased from 4 seconds to 5 seconds. Sand King, we are officially at the last of the alphabet letters. Base damage increased by 12 to 14. Base damage at level 1 rescaled from 46.54 to 45.55. Base strength increased from 21.22. Agility gain increased from 1.8 to 2. And damage gain increased from 1.8 to 2. Damage gains per level increased from 4.1 to 2.8. Damage at level 30 decreased by 51.49. Level 10 talent, 0.3 seconds Burrow Strike Stun, replaced with plus 100 Caustic Finale Radius. Shadow Demon, Shadow Poison, hit damage decreased from 30, 40, 50, 60 to 24, 35 to 48, 60. Demonic Purge, duration decreased from 6 seconds to 5 seconds. Demonic Cleanse, duration decreased from 6 seconds to 5 seconds. No longer requires at least level 1 Demonic Purge to be castable. No longer upgrades with the levels of Demonic Purge cooldown decreased from 70, 65, 60 seconds to 60 seconds. Cleanse Heal rescaled from 300, 450, 600 to 40, 50. Mana cost decreased from 150, 175, 200 to 150. No longer upgrades with Aghanim Scepter. Talents. Level talent 150 demonic purge cleanse damage heal replaced with 150 demonic purge damage, and level 25 talents minus 30 seconds demonic purge cooldown no longer affects demonic's cleanse. Shadow Fiend. Shadowmire no longer slows attack speed. Movement speed slow per stack rescaled from 5, 6, 7, 8 to 3, 6, 9, 12. That is strong again. Hello, Lily. No, almost. About 30 more minutes left or something. Chicken Fingers for Shadow Shaman. Remove Cluster Cluck facet. Chicken Fingers passive. Attacking an enemy hero transforms him into a chicken with 100 move speed for 1 second. Cooldown 15 seconds. Foul Play, now upgraded with a Aghanim Shard. Increased damage reduction duration to 1.5 and adds a 0.1 second of vulnerability time before, upon triggering Foul Play, 3 uncontrollable chicken illusions will spawn and try to confuse enemies. They exist for 3 seconds and either stand still or run. Also, it allows it to be cast on both enemies and allies, including serpent wards. Allied units are not disabled, and the shackle is broken if the ally travels further than 2,000 units from the Shadow Shaman. Mass Serpent Ward no longer upgrades with Aghanim Scepter. Level 25 talent, plus 20% ward's attack damage replaced with plus 1 ward attack target. Level 25 talent, Ether shock damage increased from 400 to 250. Silencer. Arcane Curse ability reworked. Curses the target, dealing damage and causing enemies to hero to take damage over time and slowing their move speed. Silence enemies take 1.5 times slow and damage, and any time affected enemies can cast a spell, the duration is increased. The duration is paused as long as the target is silenced. Initial damage, 20, 40, 60, 80 damage, 16, 24, 32, 40, radius 350, base duration 6 seconds, move is slow, 16, 19, 22, 25%, penalty duration 2 seconds, seconds multiplier 1.5, cast range is 1000, mana cost is 120, 130, 140, 150, cooldown 22, 20, 19, 16 seconds. Compared to previous iterations, ability durations can now be decreased by status resistance or increased by debuff duration bonuses. Glades of Wisdom no longer silences enemies after attacking target 4 times. Into damage percentage increased from 20, 40, 60, 80 to 35, 50, 65, 80. Last word, ability reworked. Intense targets, providing vision of them and causing them to be damaged and silenced if they cast a spell or if the enchantment timer expires. Deals extra damage based on the difference, and intelligence based on silencer and the attack target. Base damage 120, 160, 200, 240. Int difference multiplier 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. Enemy cast timer 4 seconds. Silence duration 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds. Cast range 900. Mana cost 100, 105, 110, 115. Cooldown 2, 2, 19, 14, 10 seconds. Cooldown reskills from 130, 115, 100 seconds, 120. No longer applies on couriers. Level 10 talents, level 10 arcane curse damage replaced with curse penalty multiplier. Level 20 talents, 35 5 last word damage slow replaced with 250 AoE last word. Skywrath Mage, Ruin and Restoration, spell life 0 rescared from 20, 30, 40, 50 to 25, 30, 35, 40%. Arcane Bolt damage decreased from 75, 95, 115, 135 to 60, 85, 110, 135 mana cost decreased from 95, 85. Aghanim Shard search range decreased from 700 to 500. Concussive Shot no longer has creep damage penalty. Aghanim Scepter search radius changed from 700 range around Skywrath Mage to 500 at the first target. Oh my goodness. Aghanim Scepter search range decreased from 700 to 500. Mystic Flare Aghanim Scepter search range decreased from 700 to 500. Slardar, Leg Day, Guardian Sprint Speed Burst duration increased from 2 seconds to 2.5. Brain Guard, Corrosive Haze Armor transfer increased from 40% to 50%. Abilities, Seaborn Sentinel, HP regen increased from 2.468 to 2.55, 7.5, 10%. HP regen with Aghanim Scepter increased from 24, 26, 28, 30 to 24.5, 27, 29, and 32. Guardian Sprint bonus move speed decreased from 10, 20, 30, 40% to 10, 19, 26, 34%. Slithering Crush, Aghanim Scepter bonus puddle radius rescaled from flat 300 to 80%. The puddle radius decreased from 550 to 450. Bash at the Deep no longer deals bonus damage to creeps. Trail duration decreased from 8 seconds to 7 seconds. Now applies with Aghanim Scepter, increases trail duration by 5 seconds, and trail radius by 80 seconds from 100 to 180. Level 10 talent, minus 2 Guardian Sprint cooldown, replaced with 2 seconds Guardian Sprint duration. Level 10 talent, 0.2 seconds Slithering Crush duration, replaced with 12 Seaborn Sentinel damage. Slog. Dark Reef Renegade. Barracuda now causes Slark attacks to apply non-stacking debuff that reduces the target's armor by 1, 2, 3, 4 for 2 seconds. Linger duration rescaled from 1.5 to 2.53 seconds to 2 seconds. Abilities. Dape Shroud radius decreased from 250 to 225. Level 25 talent Shadow Dance attack speed increased from 90 to 100. Level 25 talent Essence Shift duration is decreased from 40 to 35. Snapfire base damage increased by 14, damage at level 1 unchanged. Strength gain increased from 3.2 to 3.5. Agility gain increased from 1.2 to 1.9. Intelligence gain increased from 2.1 to 2.2. Damage gain per level decreased from 4.6 to 3.4. Damage at level 3 decreased by 43 from 212 to 18 to 169, 175. Abilities, Little Shredder attack damage increased from 30% to 35%. Sniper take aim has an overhead indicator when the ability is active. Level 10 talent, plus 10 shrapnel movement speed, slow down, replaced with 55 take aim bonus attack range. Level 15 talent, plus 1 second take aim duration, replaced with plus 150 assassinated damage. Level 15 talent, plus 30 attack speed, replaced with plus 45 attack speed during take aim. Level 20 talent, plus 15 take aim armor, replaced with plus 2 take aim duration. Spectre is now a universal hero. Base damage increased by 2 base damage at level 1 unchanged. Damage gain per level increased from 2.1 to 2.8. Damage at level 30 increased by 27. Facets: Forsaken, Rework, Desolate. Desolate Nigeria 1.75 times damage, but Spectre illusions can no longer trigger Desolate. Twist the Knife no longer decreases cooldown on reality. Dispersion, damage reflected on from 11, 14, 17, 12, 7, 7, 11, 15, 19%. Shadow Step cooldown increased from 60, 50, 40 to 60, 55, 50. Reality cooldown increased from 3 seconds to 1.5. Level 25 talent plus 30% haunt illusion damage replaced with 25 all illusion damage. Spirit Breaker removed imbalance facet. That's also the facet's name, not the description. Oh my god. Facets. Bull's hit. Greater Bash. Bash chance increases if you bash more than one hero within the last 10 seconds. Each additional hero past the first increases Greater Bash chance by 17%. Duration increase from Planar Rocket from 6 seconds to 7 seconds. Level 20 talent plus 17% Greater Bash chance replaced with minus the zero point 0.3 greater bash cooldown. Level 25 talent, greater bash damage decrease from 25% to 20. Storm Spirit. Level 10 talent, plus 20 overload damage replaced with 25 overload attack movement speed slow. Base attack armor, Sven's base attack armor increased by 1. Base armor increased by 1. Base strength decreased by 25 to 23. Base agility decreased from 25 to 18. And strength gain increased from 3.2 to 3.5. Facets. Heavy plate. Warcry physical barrier amount increased from 60, 120, 180, 240 to 70, 140, 210, and 280. And Wrath of God no longer decreases Sven's base damage. Bonus damage per strength decreases from 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7 to 0.0, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. Stormhammer radius rescaled from 270 to 250, 270, 290, 310. Great cleave distance decreased from 700, 400, 500, 600, 700. Cleave end width decreased from 360 to 270, 300, 330, 760. Cleave damage was scaled from 40, 60, 80, 100 to 50, 65, 80, and 95%. Warcry bonus speed decreased by 10, 14, 18, 22% to 6, 9, 12, 15%. Bonus armor rescaled from 6, 9, 10, 12 to 5, 8, 11, 14. Level 10 talent plus 20 attack speed replaced with plus 10% Vanquisher bonus damage. Techie space damage increased by 17. Damage at level 1 increased by 3% from 345 to 4648. Strength gain increased from 2.5 to 2.6. Agility gain increased from 1.3 to 1.8. Intelligence gain decreased from 3.0 to 2.8. Damage gain per level decreased from 4.8 to 3.2. Damage at level 30 decreased by 52. Facets reworked. Spoon Stash. Techie stacks all previously selected enchantments onto newly crafted neutral items. Also allows to have 2 tier 5 enchantments by recrafting a tier 5. Minefield Sign. Cast point decreased from 1.5 to 1.25. Now also causes sticky bombs and proximity mines within the radius to deal 15% more damage. Templar Assassin. Agility gain increased from 3.2 to 3.4. Facets. Hidden Reach. When in meld, Templar Assassin gradually increases her attack range up to an additional 400 range over the course of 1 second. PSI Blades. PSI Blades range decreased from 550, 600, 550, 700 to 4, 5, 6, 700. Split amount decreased from 85, 90, 95, 100% to 70, 80, 90, 100%. Psionic Track Agonal Scepter no longer grants 100 bonus damage. Psionic Projection bonus damage upon arrival is increased from 300 to 375. Level 10 talents plus 20 refraction damage replaced with 2.5 meld debuff duration. Level 20 talent plus 3 meld armor reduction replaced with plus 40 reflection damage. Terrorblade. Metamorphosis duration increased from 10 seconds to 15 seconds. Level 10 talent, 10% conjure image damage replaced with -2 seconds conjure image cooldown. Level 10 talent, -4 second reflection cooldown replaced with +1 second reflection duration. Tide Hunter, Facets Krill Eater, no longer reduces base strength. Kraken Shell now has 50% block value against creeps. Now can be activated to double the block amount at the cost of 40% move speed. Lasts 4 seconds, mana cost 45, and cooldown 30 seconds. Timber Saw. Mana cost increased from 100 to 100, 140, 180. Damage decreased from 110, 155, 200 to 100, 150, 200. Chakram. Mana cost increased from 75, 125, 125 to 100, 140, 180. Pass damage increased from 110, 155, 200 to 100, 150, 200. Level 20 talent plus 20% magic resistance replaced with exposure therapy. Heals for 7 HP per tree destroyed. Huh. Tinker. Abilities Laser. Aghanim Scepter current max health reduction increased from 10% to 15%. Level 15 talent laser damage increased from 40 to 50. Level 25 talent rearm grants 50% bonus magic resistance replaced with 10 seconds defense matrix duration. Level 25 talent laser AoE decreased from 250 to 200. Tiny crash landing. Bonus landing damage decreased from 20, 25, 30, 35 to 20. Avalanche. No longer deals bonus damage to tossed units. Damage increased from 80, 160, 240, 350 to 1, 2, 3, 400. Toss damage increased from 80, 160, 240, 320, 9, 180, 270, 360. Treant Protector. Nature's Guise. Aghanim Shard would not turn Treant Protector invisible if he is currently attacking an enemy. Living Armor. Mana costs decreased from 55 to 40, 45, 50, 55. Heal per second increase to 2, 3, 4, 5 to 3, 4, 5, 6. Talent, -4 seconds Nature Grasp cooldown replaced with plus 2.5% Nature's Guise move speed. That's nice. Troll Warlord. Bad Influence. Reworked. During Battle Trance, Tor Warlords has increased max favor stacks and no attack speed limit. Battle Trance grants allied heroes 50% of the attack speed bonus. Battle Trance max favor attacks 15 seconds. Aghanim's Shard no longer increases max stacks. Now follows Global Lifesteal rules. Battle Trance now follows Global Lifesteal rules. Tusk. Drinking Buddies. Cooldown decreased from 25, 21, 18, 15 to 23, 20, 17, 40. Move speed bonus rescaled from 10, 15, 20, 25 to 11, 14, 17, 20%. Walrus Kick push distance decreased from 1400 to 1200. Slow duration decreased from 4 seconds to 2. Damage decreased from 350 to 5. Increased from 350 to 550. Can no longer be cast while snowballed, similar to Walrus Punch. Level 10 talents, plus 25 tag team drinking buddies damage replaced with plus 2 tag team seconds tag team drinking buddies buff duration. Underlord. Level 10 talents, 60 firearm store radius replaced with 15 seconds atrophy aura duration. Level 20 talent Firestorm Borden damage decreased from plus 0.8 to plus 0.6. Level 25 talent Pit of Malice root decreased from 0.5 to 0.8. Undying. Decay damage increased from 10, 50, 90, 130 to 20, 60, 100, 140. Soul Rip mana cost rescaled from 100 to 80, 90, 100, 110. Flesh Golem slow rescaled. Flesh Golem slow decreased from 35, 40, 45% to 30, 35, 40%. Level 10 talent decay damage decreased from 50 to 40. Ice Warrior. Level 10 talent Fury Swipes reset time decreased from 15 seconds to 12 seconds. Level 15 talent Fury Swipes damage decreased from 7 seconds to 5 seconds. Vengeful Spirits is now an agility hero. Base damage increased by 17. Damage level 1 decreased by 4. Strength gain increased from 1 to 2.6. Agility increased from 2.1 to 3.4. Intelligence increased from 1.2 to 1.5. Damage gain per level decreased from 3.8 to 3.2. Damage at level 30 decreased by 36. Retribution innate ability bonus damage increased from 10% to 20%. Venomancer Enhancer, base damage increased by 21. Damage at level 20 at level 1 increased by 5. Strength gain increased from 2 to 2.1. Agility gain increased from 2.0 to 2.8. Intelligence gain increased from 1.8 to 1.4 to 1.8. Damage gain per level decreased from 3.8 to 3. Damage at level 3 decreased by 27. Viper, Nosedive. Nosedive also releases Nether Toxin upon landing. And level 10 talents, plus 4 poison attack magic resistance reduction, replaced with plus 1 second Viper Strike duration. Level 25 talent becomes universal, replaced with Nether Toxin radius, increased by 25 for every 0.5 seconds. Visage. Base damage increased by 17. Damage at level 1 increased by 3. Strength gain increased from 2.4 to 2.8. Agility gain increased from 1 to 1.3. Damage gain per level increased from 4.1 to 3.2. Damage at level 30 increased by 33. Facets Sepulcher. Grave Chill radius increased from 250 to 300. Secondary target penalty decreased from 75% to 50. And Faithful Followers. Summon Familiars. Familiar gold bounty decreased from 70 to 50%. Void Spirit. Base damage increased by 18. Base strength increased by 21 to 22. Base damage at level 1 increased by 3. Strength gain increased from 2.3 to 2.6. Intelligence gain increased from 2.5 to 3.1. Damage gain per level decreased from 4.9 to 3.6. Damage at level 30 decreased by 47. Aether Remnant damage increased from 70, 120, 170, 120 to 85, 135, 185, 135, 235, excuse me. Warlock base damage increased by 3. Damage at level 1 increased from 49, 59 to 52, 62. Upheaval slow linger duration decreased from 3 seconds to 1 second. Weaver, the swarm attacks to destroy increased from 6688 to 6789. For heroes increased from 3344 to 3445. Wind Waker. Base damage increased by 1420. Base intelligence decreased from 21 to 18. Damage at level 1 rescaled from 4652 to 4456. Strength gain increased from 2 to 2.6. Agility gain increased from 1.4 to 1.7. Intelligence gain increased from 2.4 to 3.2. Damage gain per level decreased from 4.1 to 3.4. Damage at level decreased by 32.26. Remove Focus Fire and Whirlwind facets. Focus Fire remains as Wind Ranger's default ultimate. Okay. Tangle. Shackle Shot now applies to all units and trees behind the target, each granting Wind Ranger bonus attack damage for 6 seconds. Each shackled hero provides 12, 20, 28, 36 damage, while trees on other units provide 50% less primary shackle shot target. Doesn't provide any damage. Yo. Kill Shot. Power Shot. The arrow instantly executes the enemy heroes below a certain health threshold. Execute thresholds linear increases with the channeling time. Minimum execution threshold is 5%. Max execution threshold is 9, 10, 11, 12%. Health for the execution is calculated after the arrow hits. Power Shot. Mana cost rescaled from 100 to 90, 100, 110, 120. Gale Force mana cost increased from 100 to 120. Level 10 talent minus 2 shackle shot cooldown replaced with plus 25 easy breezy min max move speed. Level 10 talent plus 75 power shot damage replaced with plus 1 second power shot slow duration. Winter Wyvern is now an intelligence hero. Base damage increased by 15-17. Base strength is increased from 20 to 22. Damage at level 1 decreased by 1. Strength gain increased from 2.2 to 2.5. Agility gain increased from 1.5 to 1.7. Intelligence gain increased from 2.8 to 3.6. Damage gain per hero decreased from 4.6 to 3.6. Damage at level 30 decreased by 43. Base attack speed increased from 90 to 100. Removed essence of the blue heart and dragon sightseeing facets. 2 new facets here. Winterproof. Cold Embrace can be cast on buildings. Chosen building isn't healed, but still protected from physical damage. Affected units or buildings gain 60% bonus attack damage after the cocoon thaws, buff duration 6%. If the building is under the effect of both Cold Embrace and Glyph of Fortification, the buff duration is paused. Lane creeps don't have this interaction. Winter's Curse makes all affected enemies take 125% of the physical, magical, and pure damage from Winter Wyvern. Whenever the cursed enemy dies, Winter's Curse is recast on the lowest health enemy hero facet affected by the curse. The recast has minimum, maximum, and both durations equal to 50% of the default spell. Yo. Recursive, huh? Okay. Eldworm Scholar now applies to Shrines of Wisdom instead of removed Wisdom runes. Winter's Curse affected units no longer take increased magic and pure damage bonus from Winter Wyvern by default. Witch Doctor removed Voodoo Festration facet. Level 20 talent plus 30% Maledict Burst damage replaced with plus 1% target max health Voodoo Restoration heal. Level 25 talent plus 2% target max health food restoration heal replaced with plus 8 maledict duration. Wraith King. Facet Bone Guard. Hero kills now give 2 skeleton charges. Level 10 talent plus 25% Wraith Fire Blast Impact damage DPS replaced with plus 25 Bone Guard duration cooldown. Level 20 talent plus 60 attack speed replaced with 5 Bone Guard skeleton spawned. Spectral Blade, level 10 talent plus 25 Wraith Fire Blast Impact damage DPS replaced with 15% Spectral Blade Curse damage. Level 20 talent, 60 attack speed replaced with 25 Spectral Blade Curse cooldown. Level 20 talent plus 40% of cleave replaced with 60 attack speed. And finally, the last hero in the game, Zeus. Facets, Live Wire, Static Field. Minimum damage increased from 2% to 2.5, 3.5, 4%. Max damage increased from 4, 5, 6, 7% to 5, 6, 7, 8%. Divine Rampage. Thunder God's Wrath. Amplification for kill increased from 15 to 25%. Arc Lightning. Mana cost increased from 75, 80, 85, 90 to 75, 85, 95, 105. Jump radius decreased from 500 to 40 to 450. Heavenly Jump leap distance rescaled from 500 to 300, 4, 5, 600. Slow duration decreased from 1.6 to 1.4 seconds. Vision radius is now affected by changes to area effect. The end. Client is out of date. I read that for that long. Let's go ahead and go to the main here. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, y'all. I really read for a long time. Deuces.